Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 85 of the Clockwork Cantina. I am one of your hosts, Josh902. On the other end of the podium there is our co-host,
Hello, I'm DT3. What's up, everybody?
and in the middle we have a guest
We have
this
this very special
week,
guest. Yes,
a
yes.
friend. Sorry, I'm
Miss,
trying to adjust my camera here.
yeah.
Hello, I'm Alex. Alex Pants. Pants. However you
Every,
however you like.
everybody,
Yep.
welcome Alex to the show.
And Letty as
Letty.
well, because she
And
wants to
Letty.
be here as well. Yes, yes.
Yes. Uh, Alex, welcome. We've wanted more guests for a while,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
we're doing it. We're doing it now.
And it
Also,
begins
guys,
today.
also we are using some new tech, so a new
Yeah.
website to capture our cameras, to make it easier to position ourselves around where we want to go, kind of. So, if our audio is like not matching up with our cameras, I don't think that's happening. I think it happens to me a little bit just because I have to run my shit through software to cut out background noise. But let us know. I don't think it is, but let us know, so I can adjust it. And if any technical difficulties happen, I'm just doing some new stuff. So you just let us know, and we'll fix it as quick as we can when it happens.
Yes. Yep.
Um. So yeah, we have our guest.
We're here.
We're here.
Hello, everyone.
We have our
Hope you all
guests.
First of all, hope you all had a good week. A good past week. It's been good. I've there's been a lot going on past week. I'm excited for this episode. Is gonna be a lot to talk about. I think. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Here we are.
Yeah, we out here. No
Yes.
big deal.
We out here. Yes.
Yes, we are. So if we also get a little confused because I'm not used to having three of us. I'm used to just me and Daniel. Bear with us because it's a weird new thing. When was Daniel? When did we have Katie on? It's been like a couple years now,
Katie
right?
on? No. It's been like I want to say Katie was like May of last year. That's how long it's been.
May of
since we had
last
somebody
year.
else.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
May.
couldn't remember for
2020.
sure.
I
was gonna look it
I
up.
remember exactly because we were talking about Star Wars because it was Star Wars Day and we're like, oh, who should we have on as a Star Wars Day guest? Fucking Katie, dude, and we brought her
Oh,
on.
Katie.
It was great. Yeah.
That's a
Good stuff.
perfect guess for Star Wars Day.
Yes.
Yeah. It was good. Yeah.
And we're gonna have her again in the future for sure.
For sure. Definitely. Yeah, but that was good. It's been a little too long since our last guest though. Hopefully we kind of have one more. We have more guests more frequently, because it's been over a year at this point.
Well, now that we've got this set up, now that this is working, we will
that's also
definitely
true.
be having more
we didn't
guests
really
in the
have
future.
it was we
It
have
was
this technology
jank.
available.
It was jank before.
The way
Like
we
I
did
had
it
to.
before, it was a little
I had to fit it in the Discord video, and it's weird when I can't put cameras where I want to put cameras. Now I can put cameras anywhere. Like, so I could put Daniel over here if I wanted to. Daniel doesn't want to be over here. I could go over there. I don't want to be over there, but I could move us wherever we want to go. We can go there. Now, so it's not it's freeing. We're not constricted anymore. So,
Very user friendly too, like really easy to set up.
yes. Not only that, it's really good quality. Like I love it. Like the Discord,
it looks pretty good. Yeah.
the last few videos that we did, like my camera would be jank in the Discord call, and I'd sit there and try to fix it for like 5 minutes while Daniel's going on about the news, and I can't pay attention to what he's talking about. And Daniel's like, "Well, what do you think of that, Josh?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, sounds good to me," and just move on. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. But now that we have this, complete focus is on what we're doing, which is great.
Excellent.
I just looked over to double check and make sure I was recording because I tend to forget that sometimes. All right, before we get started, we usually go over what we've been up to the past week. Daniel will go first. That way Alex can see how we do it if she wants to go on what she's been up to this past week in the middle, and then I usually bring up the tail end. So
All right.
Daniel, if you want to start us off, it looks like you have quite the list here of
I
what you've been
was
up to.
I've played a lot of things. I've watched a lot of things. So it's been a time. Yeah. So obviously been keeping up a little bit more Final Fantasy online. I'm probably gonna be. I actually haven't been playing it the past few days, but I played it like early within the past week. Done a lot of that. I'll probably stream it again on Wednesday, maybe. We'll see. We'll see when. Red Dead, but obviously I continue to play that. I have other streamer friends that play this now as well, so you've been playing a lot a lot more too. Uh, Fall Guys, Fall Guys, been playing that. Then with the I usually tend to play more when there's a new season. And right now we're in season 5, so I've been playing that a little bit. I tried out the new Avengers Wakanda Black Panther update. Pretty fun. Black Panther is pretty fun to play as. Yeah, it's the Wakanda setting is also very cool, very different because it's a lot more colorful, instead of like the grays of the helicarrier or like New York and whatnot. So that's been pretty cool. I recently got a new game called Tribes of Midgard. I tried that out on stream. I really enjoy it, but the thing with that game is that you need more people to play with because it's tough kind of playing it by yourself. It's kind of like a tower defense roguelike type thing. Would you agree, Josh? You've played it as well, I know.
I've fiddled with it a little bit, and yeah, it is kind of like that.
Yeah, so
Um,
the cool thing with that game though is you can play with up to 10 people at a time. So if anybody out there gets the game, let me know. We can probably make something happen, man. We play that game because it's pretty fun. Like I said, I like it, but it's just tough when you're playing it alone because I feel like you need more people with you. But
yeah,
yeah. I
10 is a
finally
lot. That's good.
yeah, it's great. Like most games only let you play with what, like 3 to 4 people at most, like including yourself. So up to 10 is really, really good. So I'm all about that. I've tried out marbles on stream for the first time. It's one of those like stream games where like you have like chat interaction or whatever. It's like, all right, we'll have this on usually like in the background while you're doing something else or in between games, kind of like how words on stream works or like Gartic phone or something like that. So marbles on stream, pretty fun. If you haven't heard about it, it's basically like chat races marbles around and it's you get to vote on the maps and all that. It's pretty cool. I got it from Steam if anybody's curious. But anyway, did that. I watched the newest episode of Marvel's What If. It's continuing to be great. The second episode was so good. Uh I don't even want to say what it's about. Like, you should just go check it out because it's really, really good. But um it's one of those things that like it's the last portrayal of a character from an actor that is no longer with us. I'll say that. So it's
yeah.
it's yeah,
Intriguing.
definitely be ready for that because it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next one. It's gonna be fantastic. And then also on Disney Plus, I've been meaning to watch these like short little videos that they have on there. One of them is called Star Wars Biomes, and the other one is called Star Wars Vehicle Flythroughs. So what they are is the biomes is like it's literally like an 18-minute video of like taking you through Star Wars planets. So the first one, I believe, was Hoth. Then it goes to it goes Hoth and Empire Strikes Back, Tatooine from A New Hope. Then you go to, I believe, Sorbin from The Mandalorian, which is the planet where they have like the fish farmers in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
When they have the like to stop the ATST, that one. And then from there, I think it goes to Crate from The Last Jedi. And then I want to say there was another one, but I'm forgetting what it was. But anyway, it's like literally just taking you through the planets, and like you're just looking at the planets and everything, like just stuff happen around. It's pretty cool. It's like an 18-minute video. If you got the time to
Yeah.
check it out, check it out. It's pretty
I
cool.
I joined you for this. I was when we were
Yeah,
watching
because I was
through
like
it. So
streaming. I was just streaming it on Discord. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this anyway. So if anybody wants to check it out with me, let's check it out.
Mhm.
And then after that, we did the Star Wars vehicle fly-throughs, which was like
Yeah.
there was 2 episodes of that, also very short. They were like what, like 5 minutes or something each.
Yeah, they
And
weren't very long, but they were cool.
the first one was the Millennium Falcon, which you kind of go inside the ship and look around, and you get to see it all and everything. And then the second one was for the First Order Star Destroyer, which was also pretty dope. Again, you just look inside the ships and see all the detail and all that crazy stuff. So for a Star Wars nut like me, it was pretty. I like watching that shit. So
Nah, that's cool.
I'm all about it. Yeah.
It's almost like when they coming out with a video game and they'll do fly-throughs of the levels and show them off. It made me think of
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
hey, it's
It
another
was it was
Battlefront
it was
coming.
it was pretty much what that was. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
much what that was. And then I watched the Marvel Legends stuff. I'm caught up on that. Those things are basically like recaps of like characters or stuff up until a certain point, you know?
Hmm.
Like here's everything that's happened in, Peggy Carter's story up until now, and you can catch her next on this next thing. So it's kind of that stuff. Um I so I've been mentioning every week how I've been in a Clone Wars group watch with a couple friends who have never seen it,
Hmm.
and we are currently in season 6. So we're almost done with Clone Wars, and that's been pretty fun. We watched there were some interesting arcs. The next one we're gonna be watching, I'm excited for because it's a good one. I'm not gonna say what it is in case they watch this, but and then I know, and then Alex, at some point, I'm gonna be taking her through Clone Wars as well. We're gonna make it happen at some point.
Oh
She
hell
hasn't seen
yeah.
any of it. Yeah, we got to make it happen at some point because
It's great.
it's a great time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like
actually really
honestly, like
excited.
yeah, I always say this to people like whenever we talk about like the Star Wars animated shows because people are like, oh, that's a kids show or whatever. Wait till you watch that shit. Clone Wars, Rebels, some of the animated stuff. I shit you not. It's some of the like some of the stuff in there is like some of the best Star Wars like ever. Like I'm not even lying. Like I can't even like oh man. Some of it like takes a while to get to because like there's seasons and seasons of these shows, right? But like it's so worth it once you get there. And like especially if you like The Mandalorian, there's a lot of tie-ins from The Mandalorian to the animated stuff, so it just makes it adds to your experience. It makes it even better. But anyway, we've been taking them through that. We're on season 6. It's been fun. I enjoy doing that every Saturday that we do that. And then we were just talking about Katie, our good friend Katie, who we was our last guest on the podcast. She had not seen the last 4 episodes of The Bad Batch. So literally, I forget what day this was. This was probably like Friday or Thursday or some one of these days. She came in. I was like, "All right, Katie, please tell me you've seen The Bad Batch?" She's like, "I'm not gonna say anything." I was like, so I literally ended stream and I fucking watched the last 4 episodes with her. I was like, "We gotta get you caught up, Katie." So that's what happened, and we caught her up on the Bad Batch, and I think she was thankful for that because it was good.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, I had to do it. It's like, come on, Katie, we got to do it.
Knock it
And
out.
then I watched a couple movies as well. So I watched this one movie a couple days ago called Good Time. It stars Robert Pattinson,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, and have if you guys have ever seen Uncut Gems, it's very much like that.
Okay, so it's just like a shit show?
It is like fucking wild. Like I don't even like it's directed by the same people that did Uncut Gems too. So like it's again, it's that expect that kind of shit because it is fucking nuts. Like you will never look at a bottle of Sprite ever again the same way. Uh I go watch the movie. Like it's crazy. And Robert Pattinson is really good in it too. So definitely go check that. It's a crazy ass movie though. Like just go watch it, report back, let me know what you think because it's fucking bonkers. And then since we were gonna be having a music episode today, I was like, you know what? Let me watch a couple music stuff. So I watched Tenacious D's The Pick of Destiny musical
That's
movie. If
sick.
you guys have ever seen that, yeah, that movie's great. I watched that. And then Netflix has this documentary about the Notorious B.I.G. It's called Biggie, I Got a Story to Tell. So I watched that, and that
Mhm.
was pretty good. It was more so what the cool thing about that is like it was based more off his personal life. Like his mom is in it, some of his friends that he grew up with, and they have like old ass like taped videos from like the early 90s and shit in it and stuff. So if you're like curious about Biggie's like, early life and like some of his musical influences and like, his mom and him going to Jamaica every summer, like, early on, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fascinating stuff. And it's just crazy, like, seeing how like another thing is just crazy seeing how like him and Pac used to be like tight, and then like once Pac got shot, everything went downhill.
Mhm.
It's nuts, man. It's crazy, but it was good. I enjoyed it. And then we Josh and I with along with another friend, we've been watching Heels, the wrestling drama family show. And that's been great. Like I thought the first episode was really good, and the second episode was also really, really good. So
Yeah.
definitely check that out. It's been great stuff. And then the last thing that I have on here is literally like last night. I had a friend, another streamer friend, who was like, "Yo, you want to play some Overcooked 2?" And I'm like, "Fuck it, dude. Let's play some Overcooked 2." And we played some Overcooked 2. And guess what? We got 3 stars on all of them, baby. We were
Oh
killing it.
yeah.
We were killing it. It
Go.
was great.
In sync the whole way
It was
through.
great. Yeah, we were locked in, man. It was like you washed the dishes, you chopped up the fucking food, and I was, I'll fucking toss the pasta and like send the food in. It was great, man. It's fun. That game is really fun when you got like a good coordinated solid team. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Now you know
Even if
why I
you
don't
have
play
like
it.
a shitty team, it's still fun.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but then you got depending on who you play with, then you got people yelling and be like, "Go do this, go do that," like shit.
Yep.
But no, yeah, it's a good time. But that's pretty much what I've been up to the past week. I don't want to take up too much more time. I know we got other stuff to talk about. So
Gotcha. It's cool. It's
yeah.
cool. All right, Alex, you saw how it's done. What have you been up to this week? If you want to talk about any of that, feel free. This is your
Um,
time to shine.
I definitely would say not as many fun things as Daniel because everything he was talking about sounds like a blast. The last week I mean last weekend, so not the weekend that just passed, the one before that, I was at a wedding and that's always a fun time. And then I came home and I finished just like organizing my place. It's still kind of a mess, but we're getting there.
Get in
After
there, get in there.
moving. Yeah, Letty's finally seeming to like settle in. She's getting used to the new place, so that's a good thing.
Nice. That is good.
Um,
Yeah,
we as far as like I mean, I guess I worked, I studied because I'm still working on one of my classes right now. So basically like whenever I have free time, that's what I'm doing. And
Gotcha.
Dylan and I actually just finished watching Outer Banks. I don't know if you guys ever watched Outer Banks or heard about it.
Outer
I've
Banks.
seen it like it's on Netflix, right? I think I've seen it
Yeah.
on Netflix, but I haven't checked it out. And I saw it, and I'm kind of like, I wonder what this is, but I
Like
haven't checked it out yet.
when I
Yeah, no,
heard about
I
it, I was
haven't checked
like,
it out yet either.
I didn't think it'd be something I'd be into, but it was actually really good. It's like a treasure hunt type of show. So it's like kids
Mm,
and they go on a treasure hunt. They're like teenagers or whatever.
mhm.
But it's like way more mature and like dark than you think it's gonna be. And there's like all these murders and people like blackmailing each other and cliffhangers and shit gets crazy. So
Damn.
they just came out with a second season, and Dylan had watched the first season, and so he's like, "You have to watch the first season so we can watch the second season together."
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
just finished that, and that was, of course, they leave you on a cliffhanger
A
again, but
cliffhanger, right, right.
Yeah.
there's all these theories about what it means and everything. But if you guys are looking
Yeah.
for an adventure show, that's a good one for sure.
Cool.
And
Might
then
check that out.
yesterday, streamed again after not streaming for like 2
Right.
weeks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we finally beat Resident Evil Village.
Hell yeah, Village. Let's
It's
go. That was great.
done.
Yeah.
It's over.
It's done,
Yeah.
finally. It was a great game. I really loved that game. Like I know that a lot of the people in like our community have played it and or
Yeah.
have like I know Majin streamed it on Discord when he was playing it or something.
He did. He
But
played
it's
it. There was, yeah, like you said, there was a few people who played it and went through it. Yeah.
yeah, and even if you have already seen it and you know what happens, it's just like a fun game. I really enjoyed it and I'm excited for the next one that comes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that game, like I haven't played Resident Evil since like I want to say the sixth game, which that one came out like in 2012. So it's been a while since I played a Resident Evil game. But like the new remakes, like the remake for 2 and 3 look pretty cool. 7, I have watched so many people play it, so I'm like, I don't know if I need to play it, you know.
Yeah,
But
you
I
already
get
know
what
where
you,
everything is.
I get what you mean though. Like 8 looks pretty fun, you know.
My
It really does. Even though I've seen like several people play it already too,
my
including
my
yourself.
Resident Evil history is like strange. Like I just remember watching cousins play, and I've never played any of them, so I've thought about playing
Oh,
them
okay.
all through.
I
I
think
the Go
that's
ahead,
something
Alex.
you got to do. That's something I got to do now because I started with 7, which was just gifted to me, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a go. Like I don't play scary games.
Yeah,
And then I was like, oh, okay, I loved 7, so I'll play 8 for sure. And now I'm like, hey, well, I guess I gotta go back so that the story makes sense.
yeah, right. The thing is like for me, like the main two ones that I've played, like for me, are 4 and 5, right? Like those are the two that I've played the most. And it's just funny, like seeing Chris in the 8th game, because like he looks so much different than the Chris in the 5th game. Because like the Chris in the 5th game is like this big ass jacked up dude who's like literally, I shit you not. This is a bit of it's a meme, but it's a bit of a spoiler. It's a bit of a spoiler, but it's a meme at this point, right?
It's okay.
Literally, dude pushes a fucking boulder at the end of the 5th game. He pushes a big ass boulder with nothing but his arms. Like Chris is a beast in that game. And here's the other thing. They change his appearance in like every game. Chris Redfield never looks the same in all the games he's been in. Like
Mm.
he always looks different. Like when I think of Chris Redfield, I always think of Resident Evil 5 Chris Redfield. Big motherfucker pushing boulders, with short sleeve t-shirts and shit. Like that's the dude that I think of. But then there's like the Chris from Resident Evil 8 who has like the trench coat and like the beard and fucking like they change his look up every game. So
It's so funny you say that's the one you think of, because the one I
yeah.
think of is the live actor that they had for Resident Evil 1.
Oh man, from the
That was
movie,
really
dude.
no, not from the
Oh,
movies, from the game. From the very
oh,
first game
from the game.
they had live action instead of cutscenes. They had like
Right. Like FMV stuff.
FMVs, yes. So because
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the 90s, this or
Right.
that's like when they would big in the FMVs.
That's
So
crazy. That's the one you think of, huh?
that's the one I think of because I watched my cousin fucking play the
That makes
first
sense.
game.
That's
Oh
fair.
my
Yeah.
god! I wonder if I can find a photo of that fucking dude,
Oh
because
my
that's who I
god.
think of when I see
So
it.
you, Alex, if you eventually plan to go back and replay the older games, it's gonna be a journey. Let me tell you.
I'm so ready. Like I wanna see it all. I wanna understand the memes.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. It's pretty nuts. Also, if you plan to replay 5, that one's co-op, and I'll join you if you need somebody. Just saying.
Yes. Yes, absolutely we'll make that happen. That would be
God.
Uh,
so fun.
Oh, I want this photo
yeah.
to load, but it won't. Come on, load! I want to show it off. It's
Load
funny.
picture load.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't even know what that dude look. I don't know.
This looks so shitty. This looks so bad. This is what he used to. This is what he looked like in the fucking live action cutscenes. There's your Chris. If you look at the stream.
Oh man, look at him.
Uh,
Oh. Oh no.
yeah.
Dude, he looks like every dude in the 90s, bro. Like you remember fucking like Dash
Yes.
Rendar from like Shadows of the Empire? They all have that like kind of look, dude. Like, yeah, I'm a hard ass smoking a fucking cigarette.
That
Mhm.
fucking haircut too.
Oh,
Like
Yeah,
bro.
oh.
yeah.
Have you seen the live? Oh, okay, hang on. I got to show you Wesker because this dude,
Oh yeah, Wesker, yeah, that
the
dude,
the FMV Wesker, that's him right there. There he is.
I can see it already, man.
His hair is so yellow.
Yeah, they all got that fucking hairstyle, man.
This almost looks like a Rick Astley type of thing. He's blonde.
Oh goodness. I remember that shit from the fucking
Yeah,
90s.
that's pretty crazy, man.
Bad. That's wild.
Good old 90s, man.
Live action Jill looked pretty dope though. I can't get a good photo right now. Okay, anyway.
I think the Chris from Resident Evil 8 was just like a thirst trap also. Just kind of like Lady D. Like they just tried to make it like horny.
I mean that game, yeah, it's Lady D, man. Wow. Yeah. It all started from there, and then like everything, like the daughters and like all that. That game is on another level. I think something else.
It's so funny.
Like we're gonna make you horny for everyone. We know what we're doing.
I don't
Yeah.
even know if they meant to at the start. I feel like they underestimated maybe a little bit how hyped people would get for Lady D. But man, the moment they got hyped for Lady D, she was in everything. She was in all the
It was game
promos.
over. Yeah.
I didn't know any of the other characters. They didn't
I
show
thought
any of them.
I thought Lady D was the whole game.
Right?
And then I mean, spoiler, I guess, but I beat Lady D, and then I was like, "Oh, the game's over," and it's like, no, like you're not even like a quarter through the game.
That's like one of like the four people the main people you got to take down. I think, right?
I don't know any
Yeah.
of those other people. They're like they didn't talk or show off any of them. It was almost like a magic trick. They're like,
'Cause
you're
they
looking at
knew,
Lady
man.
D all the time, and nobody knows who these other guys are.
I feel like I
They
got a
knew.
peek of Heisenberg, and that was it.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope. All right, Alex, if that's all you got that you want to talk
Mhm.
about, we can talk about what I've been up to this past week, which I've been up to quite a bit here. Starting us off, we watched Scream 1 and 2. It was Jake's first time watching those movies. He'd never seen them. He'd seen like the parody movies, so like Scary Movie
Like
and
scary movie. Yeah.
like
Oh.
those types of movies. So it was the first time watching those for him, and I was just hanging out watching too, because I mean, all of those movies are fun. So he watched 1 and 2. Which is really funny because this leads into my next thing that I was up to. So immediately after we watched Screams 1 and 2, uh, Thack, if you know Thack and Daniel's Discord, my Discord, Blind Wave's Discord, um, as we were watching Scream, we noticed the theme for Dewey, played by former WCW World Heavyweight Champion and professional wrestler David Arquette. No, I'm kidding. But he was former WCW champion at one point. He has a theme in Screams 1, and I don't know if they used it in 2. They may have used it in 2 as well. Where the theme from Broken Arrow, the film Broken Arrow, that had John Travolta and Christian Slater in it, would play whenever he was on screen. And the moment that theme came on, Thack and I both erupted in the chat because we love Broken Arrow. And we were like, Thack's like, Josh, we're watching Broken Arrow after this is over. So everybody left after Screams 1 and 2, and it was just Thag, me, and Bigfoot came down and started. We sat there and watched
Broken Arrow.
John Woo's Broken Arrow, which Christian Slater and John Travolta in like one of my absolute favorite Travolta roles because he's such a fucking psycho in that movie. If you've never seen it, it's a fucking dumb action movie, and those are fun too. So we sat there and watched Broken Arrow and just were like nerds and poking fun at the movie. So if you've never seen Broken Arrow, if you get it, like I think Thack bought it, that movie. It was just like, let's watch it. Let's watch it now.
Right? Fuck it, yeah.
I just remember watching it so much as a kid growing up. Like, I love this movie. It was the movie that made me like Christian Slater too.
I'm just like writing all these movies down so that I can watch them after.
Broken Arrow is like a turn off your brain and just remember this is a summer action movie. Don't think about it too much. Just go in and enjoy it because it's fun. Also, I really love the soundtrack too.
Good soundtracks. We'll talk about that later when we get to the music part.
Yes, we
That's
absolutely will. So I dipped my toe into Pathfinder Kingmaker. The CRPG came out a few years ago. I dipped my toe in. They grabbed me by the ankle and drugged me under because I played 25 hours this past week of it. And I am hooked on this game. So Pathfinder Kingmaker is a CRPG, which they have like. So when this game first came out, it had problems, but they fixed it up, and they added like a turn-based mode to it. It's usually like when you go into combat, you're fighting, and it's like slowed down, and you can like cast spells and stuff like that. Or you could turn on turn-based mode, and I swap back and forth depending on what I'm doing. So if I'm doing like a hard fight, I'll turn on turn-based mode and stuff like that. But for those of you that don't know, Pathfinder is like kind of like D&D. It's more number crunchy. Yeah, I think it was like hacked out of 3.5 D&D. That was before my time. I didn't know. I my first experience, which is funny, the first tabletop game I ever played actually was Pathfinder, with random strangers on the internet. People I
The
had no idea who they
interwebs.
were, had no clue how to play the game. These people taught me how to play the game. Um, uh, so I think this game was a Kickstarter project fucking years ago, and then they're fixing to have another game come out in a few weeks. And if you know me and you know Daniel, we're huge in the tabletop RPGs. Like we love them. I myself am very drowned in it. When I lay down at night, I read rule books. That's the time I'm a fucking nerd. You know, like I was reading the Dune RPG book is literally right there where I was reading it, learning how to play it. Um, but yeah, Pathfinder Kingmaker, God, it's got me. It's got me good. That game came out in 2018. It's got me for 25 hours. I'm playing like a I'm playing like a tank character that's like a magus kind of character, super tanky and
Mm.
can do like spells and stuff in it. Story's really good. I'm gonna steal the premise of it probably one day for a tabletop uh, mini campaign. It's got kingdom management, which is crazy.
That's pretty cool.
You eventually explore and like take over and like build up your city and town. I think and like it's crazy. Um, Having a lot of fun with that. It dragged me in hard. When I wasn't working on the new overlays, I was playing Pathfinder. Um, Moving on from that, I played a little bit of Humankind and got my ass kicked. Um, for those of you that don't know, Humankind is like a Civ type game. But I think it's got some parts. I think it does the early parts of like a Civ game really well, where you're like a tribe of people and you're going around exploring, and as you get food, your tribe grows, and then eventually you found a city, which is different than how like Civ does it. Civ just like gives you like two soldiers, a soldier, a scout, and like a go build a town somewhere kind of
Mm.
start, which is fine. Um, so I played Humankind and got my ass kicked by, oh god, who was kicking my ass? I don't remember who the other faction was, but I was getting my ass kicked by them. So I can't talk a lot about it, but I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna play it some more. It's on the Game Pass if you have Xbox Game Pass on PC, like I do, because the value of that is insane. Um, uh, I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna skip my shows and stuff till because I'm gonna talk about this last game I played. So we were sitting in Discord the other night, and we were just hanging out, and it was quiet, and then and one of my friends, we call Ambo, hanging in there with us, and she's like, "Man, it's really quiet in here. It's kind of awkward. Like it's like yeah, it's can't stand how awkward it is." I was like, "Okay, do you want to play a game with me?" So like the day before, I bought this game called Ex Novo, and it is a world building game where you roll dice and like draw on a map, right? So I was having Ambo roll on the table, and I was drawing on this piece of paper, which I'm fixing to show. Even though I'm super embarrassed by how bad my drawing is. Um, but it's like building up like a town, a settlement, a little area on a piece of paper and a map. And you go through so many events based on how big this town is, and so many events based on how old it is. Um, and she rolled all these features that are going to be on this map, and it looks really bad, and it might not show up well on camera. But there's the little town and the
I
coastline,
mean,
and I drew all this crap, and it looks
it'll
awful.
it'll show up better on the stream because
Yeah.
to me on it looks blurry like on what
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
using
yeah.
here. Yeah. So it'll
It
definitely
looks
look better on stream
it
for
looks
sure.
good on the stream. So like as you roll through these different things happen. Like you see this gold right here on stream. Uh, she rolled gold that there was here, and I couldn't draw. I don't
Oh.
know how to draw gold. Like you're supposed to draw like landmarks. I was like, I just wrote down gold on here. And then Ambo rolled on the table and it said, "Hey, you have smugglers, a new faction of smugglers that are set up in your town. Why you lose a resource?" So I marked out gold, and it's very simple. It takes like an hour to play, and it was just a way to kill time and the talk and like chat, and it gives you like really good story making ideas. Like it was just fun. It was just fun. You can buy it for
That is so cute.
like 15 bucks. I think it's like 10. I think I got it for like it's $5 or $10. I can't remember. I bought it. I bought it and the dungeon. They have a dungeon version called like X something. X. You know what? I'm gonna look it up because we're talking about it. Might as well. Might as well.
Dungeon.
I love that you did that with Ambo. That's hilarious. I bet
Yes,
she
and
was
you
so
can
cute playing it.
you can play this solo or with like up to 5 people, and you just take turns.
That's cool.
It's great. It was $10 on itch.io. And they have a dungeon version called X Umbra that I haven't messed with yet. But I might. I've been getting big into like
Umbra.
these solo games you can play yourself because look, I'm a forever DM. Nobody's ever gonna run a game for me. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll run a game for myself. I don't need nobody. I'll just do it me. And so yeah, you can get this for $10. And I've just been kind of exploring some different options. And it was fun. It was neat. It was cool. So it gave me a lot of cool stories, ideas. Getting bigger into that. That's right. I paid $16 because I got both versions. I got the Ex Novo and I got Ex Umbra.
Nice.
So I can drop a link to that in the chat if anybody's interested in it. Check it out. Go look up some YouTube videos of people trying it out. I did. I'm sure you can play it. You can probably play it on PC with like Paint. And if you're wondering why all the squares are like, Josh, why are your squares not perfect? It says it in the book. They don't have to be perfect. All you need is a certain amount, and some of them have to intersect. That's all you got to do. You can do it in circles. You can do it however you want. So check that out. That's pretty cool. Daniel said he watched Heels. I've also watched Heels. The next episode. I love this show. I love the show. It's my new show that I've been really enjoying.
Pretty good.
I look forward to every episode. Which, by the way, it drops on their app at midnight. So like we get to watch it before like people get to watch it on premiere on the actual channel because it's on the app. So which is dope.
Yeah.
So like sat there, we watched that, and I look forward to seeing where that goes. Depending on if it does good, we might do a review for it here on the podcast. Who knows? We've done that before with TV shows.
Yes, sir.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm all caught up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I had been watching it previously, and I fell off for a little bit because I binged like 4 seasons in a row, and I was like, okay, I'm sick of laughing. I need to watch something else for a while. And I'm all caught up, and I think the newest season is currently airing. So, like, when I say I'm all caught up, I mean I watched the new shit too, which deals with some pretty heavy stuff at times for a comedy cop show. Yeah. And literally a couple hours ago, I watched for the first time Catch Me If You Can, which has Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks in it. And I'm just like, what's something I can throw on while I work on stuff on the PC and watch? So I threw that on and I enjoyed it. I'd never seen it before. And I'll watch anything with Tom Hanks, even though he's more of a supporting role in this. He's really the secondary character for the film. With your boy Leo taking the lead. Yeah, it was just a pretty good movie. Recommend it. Check it out if you've never seen it. I thought it was like, wow, this is pretty long. As I was watching it, I was like, this is a long movie.
How long is it? Because I don't
actually know. Let me look. But it just felt long.
Picture the cover, but I've never watched it.
Oh, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. But the thing that got me was like, I'm like, what period of time is this taking over? Because he's moving, all this stuff is happening throughout the course of the movie. He's moving around a lot. He's doing a lot of different things. And then it's like, at the end, he's like, you're still a kid. And I'm like, really? Because it feels like he's been doing this for years in the course of the movie, but it's not. I guess it's just over the course of like a year and a half or something like that. And it just felt like, this feels like it's over a lifetime that this is happening. Or something like that. But yeah, I just remember it advertising a lot on TV and stuff. And I think that like the iconic shot I always think of whenever I hear this movie is like, here's Leo out front with a bunch of stewardesses on his arms. Which is, there's a reason for that in the movie. But yeah, check it out if you've never seen it. I've never seen it, and I enjoyed it. And I'll watch anything with Tom Hanks. I don't give a fuck what it is. Like I'll watch all of it. Like I love Tom Hanks. Um, and Daniel, I have one of the guys. Have you ever seen it, Daniel?
I haven't. I've heard a lot about it, much like Alex. Like it's something that I've heard about that I'll check out eventually. I just there's so much shit out there, dude. I try to watch stuff, but there's so much, man. And then we
The
always have new
reason
stuff coming out also. So yeah, I need to check it out, but I haven't yet.
the reason I asked is because you love Band of Brothers and I love Band of
I
Brothers.
do.
And Bill Garnier from Band of Brothers is in Catch Me If You Can. And I was like, I know him. And then I looked and like Band of Brothers was right before this movie. So I think.
Okay.
Or it was either right before or right after. I think it was
definitely
right
go watch Band of Brothers too if you haven't. That's a
Band of Brothers is fantastic.
In my opinion, it's the greatest miniseries of all time. It's so good.
Agreed.
If you don't know what it is, it's a World War II group of a group Easy Company from World War II. It's great, good stuff. It's really it just go watch it. It's fantastic if you have it. It's from like 2001. It's like a 20-year-old like miniseries, I think, at this point, but it's
like,
so
goddamn,
good.
It holds up.
It really does. And there's a lot of actors that you may recognize nowadays that were not as big back then. Like you'll see like a young Tom Hardy, like a young Michael Fassbender, like even fucking Jimmy Fallon shows up for like a little bit. James McAvoy, like a bunch of people you'll recognize. In that. It's pretty. Yeah, it's before they were like as big as they are nowadays. So
it's like baby Tom Hardy. He's like a fucking baby in this movie. Because
so
I mean, in the
when
series,
they were all younger, they all look younger. It was before they were as big as they are nowadays. They're like cameos and stuff. So definitely go check that out. It's really good. I love Band of Brothers.
I love Band of Brothers. I get the urge like once a year just to go through it all again, and I do. Yeah. All right, that's what we've been up to. We can
talk about the news.
We can talk about the news.
All right. So let's get her started here.
All right.
So the first thing that we have here is Pokemon Legends Arceus trailer. There was a Pokemon Presents within the past week, and I to me this looks like Breath of the Pokemon, the Legend of Pokemon's Breath of the Wild, because that's pretty much what this looks like to me. The link is up. So I
think this is like the Pokemon game people have wanted. Like they've wanted this type of Pokemon game for years.
They want like an open world type game. So apparently, I think this game takes place like years and years and years before like our current Pokemon timeline.
I think so. I think that's what I heard.
Also, Alex, I posted the link for you in there if you want to check it out as well.
Yeah. Honestly, you're so right. This literally looks like Breath of the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon's Breath of the Wild. Like that's what it is. Like they literally took like the Breath of the Wild and engine or whatever, and they like made Pokemon into it. Like that's like it's literally like you have kind of like the same scenery and shit too. It's kind of
and just like people in the town and stuff.
Yeah. And I imagine you can go out into the wild and throw your Pokeballs at Pokemon and catch them and stuff.
Yeah, this is they do it so different in here than what I'm used to, which is I'm gonna run around in the grass till a Pokemon jumps out and we have to battle. That's not what happens in this. This is like you literally throw out and it swaps camera angles in like a whole different type of battling.
It makes you like sneak up on the Pokemon so you don't scare them away, so you can try to catch them with your.
Oh Lord, I gotta fix Daniel's camera.
This looks hella fun.
Yeah, right. It looks pretty neat. Even the Pokeballs look older. Yeah, it's on the Switch. Yeah, well, it's because it's Pokemon. It's gonna be on the Switch. Yeah. I'm trying to fix you. The cool thing is. Yeah, no, I'm looking at it on the stream and I was like, oh, that doesn't look right. But yeah, I mean, it like literally, it's like Breath of the Wild Pokemon. Like I keep saying that, but it's the truth. Like, I mean, just look at this damn trailer.
That is so cool.
Yeah, what I was gonna say though is that this game comes out in January, so you don't have to wait too long for it either.
Hey Daniel, can you do me a favor? Turn your camera off and back on really quick.
Yeah.
In the in the thing. Let's see if that fixes. There we go. That fixed it.
All right.
And like the way that you could ride the Pokemon, like
Mm-hmm.
there's so much going on here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
this
cool.
looks cool.
That one dude's like, Pokemon are terrifying creatures. Like, imagine just being out there in the woods and you got like fucking a big ass teddy bear Pokemon trying to hunt your ass down.
I also like too, it looks like they did keep the turnstile combat though at the same time, so you have kind of best of both worlds, like that open world feel, but
Hmm.
also still that like original Pokemon feel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I feel like that's one of the main things that people, I guess, kind of were missing in the most recent Pokemon games with the Let's Go Eevee and the Let's Go Pikachu stuff, right? Which kind of has like the same style as like Pokemon Go, which isn't really like traditional combat. It's more like a swiping or whatever kind of deal.
It like reminds me about with Paper Mario how they like got rid of the turnstile combat in the new one. And everyone was
Yeah,
pissed. They're like, this isn't
yeah,
Paper Mario.
exactly. Yeah, so there you have it. That's Pokemon the Arceus trailer,
That
which
looks
again was
cool.
January
just
28th.
yeah,
Oh man.
January 28th. That's not that far away. So
No, it's not.
I I haven't bought a Pokemon
coming
game
up.
in a long time, but that looks fun.
Yeah.
The only knock I've seen people like give this is that, and it's like I understand your knock, but also what do you kind of expect? It's Nintendo. Is that it's just going to be on the Switch, so they're always like it's going to run like booty because it's on the Switch. Because we don't have like a Switch Pro yet. Um,
Yeah.
but that's like the only knock I've seen it. People seem to be generally excited for it. I'm not huge into Pokemon, but I'll probably end up checking this out. Like it looks fun. We'll probably
Yeah,
be
it does.
seeing our friend Aaron stream this, so
Yeah, yeah. Oh
because
yeah,
they're all Poke
he
nuts over there.
definitely will, yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll see other people like Save Us Jay will probably be streaming
yeah.
this. And,
A lot of
all the
our friends.
Pokemans fans will be all about this for sure.
And I'm kind of curious to how it shakes out because if this does really well, what does that mean for the future of Pokemon? Like, are they going to keep doing
Yeah, I mean,
in
I could
this
see them coming
style? Will
out
they
with
swap back to that
yeah.
other style? Like, I'm
I
curious
mean,
to see how
I would
this is going to do.
imagine that they'd probably keep both just to like here's the OG fans. We got your classic style game, but then we got this new style game that's like Breath of the Wild, open world type deal. So we're gonna keep
Mhm.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
moving too. That's kind of what
Here's
I
what you
imagine.
do. You do it like this, right? You keep the old school with like the modern setting, right? And you keep
Yeah,
doing the old then the old ones, the new ones in the old time frame,
the old
like that.
setting.
And
Yeah,
then you alternate release years, right? So we got this type this year. We got this type. Oh my god, they'd make so much money. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
Assassin's Creed that shit. That's what I'd do.
yeah. Right, like
Uh,
Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty when they like switch it up every year or whatever. Yeah.
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 Yep.
I
Yep.
wouldn't be
Yep.
surprised if that's what they do.
I wonder when
Anyway,
they're
for
actually gonna come out with that Switch Pro also. Like, is
oh
that
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm actually not
I
sure.
don't know.
There's been all kinds of talk for when that's coming out. So yeah, I'm
Rumors
not.
and I can't.
We'll see.
I'm convinced it's real, because
yeah.
if it's not, the internet has made it real. So they've got to be working on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Oh, you guys want
uh,
that one thing that we weren't thinking about doing, but all right, we're gonna
well,
do it if you guys
fuck
want it.
money.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I smell
Yes.
money.
Yeah.
Let's hit it.
Especially Nintendo, man. Like, yeah,
You smell that
Oh,
green?
Nintendo games in Canada are $80.
yeah, that's not like it's crazy to me that I think like $60 games to me are like quite a bit, I feel like, but then people from other countries like you in Canada or like Australia, like, oh, the games are like $90 out here. I'm like, what? $90? Like, no way, dude. That's
That's
crazy.
insane. And then
Yeah,
there's
like it's
DLC and then like everything else and
DLCs and like, got your controller if you don't have one, and then you got to pay for the online stuff. It's like, man, it adds up.
yeah.
It really does. Crazy.
It's nutty.
All right, if that's all we got for Pokemon, though, we can move on to the next thing.
What do we have?
Uh, we have a Black Myth Wukong official Unreal Engine 5 gameplay trailer. So this thing is like 12
Ooh.
minutes long, so we are not gonna
Yeah,
watch the
no,
whole
we're not
thing.
gonna watch this whole thing.
So we're
Uh,
just Josh will skim through it on the on the podcast, but yeah, I know this is something that people have been
we've
pretty excited about as well.
we've seen it previously. We saw a
We have,
trailer.
yeah,
I don't know how long ago it was, and we talked about it on the podcast. But I don't
yeah.
remember. I don't think that trailer was in UE5. If I'm remembering right, they moved over to a new engine. Like I want to say, let me double check that because I want to double
Just
check and make sure.
this looks beautiful. Like I'm like 40 seconds into the trailer, and that shot right
Oh,
there
it's
Yeah.
looks
gorgeous.
amazing.
Is this on PlayStation?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I think it will be, right? I think it will
It'd
be.
probably be on all the things, I
Yeah, it'll be
imagine.
like all the major stuff, like the new Xbox, PS5, PC.
Whenever I see a game like look this good, I just assume it's gonna be on PlayStation because I feel like that's where all the nice games
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean this game looks incredible. I mean they're using UE5. Like, look at this. I mean just looking at like all the environments and everything that they've built for this, it looks crazy, man.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, so the studio has switched from UE4 to UE5 for the
Mm.
action RPG. According to Nvidia, it is the first peek at a UE5 game that uses its DLSS, which I've been using in Red Dead Redemption. It's called Deep Learning Super Sampling, and it makes the game run like
Mm.
fucking butter. Like it is ridiculous how good it makes the game look, and just how smooth. Like look how smooth, and you're not even getting like the full view because you're looking at it on fucking YouTube, right? Like
Yeah.
if you were looking on it on your monitor on like a really high end monitor, like like you can watch this. We're at 1080p 60. You can watch this in 4K 60. Like go, it's crazy how good this game looks. That
Yeah,
being said,
it looks really good. Yeah.
the visuals for it are amazing. However,
Yeah.
I don't play Souls like games. I know you
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
really
I typically
play.
am not a fan of the Dark Souls stuff either, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but I think some of our Souls like friend, I think Majin is maybe interested in this game.
Phenom,
Um,
yeah.
Phenom, those types of players.
Yeah, those guys would
I
be into this for sure.
I'm kind of I personally am kind of interested in Elden Ring. They're checking that out. I don't usually play those types of games. Like the closest I ever came was Fallen Order, which isn't like a
Same, like
Souls
Jedi
like, but
Fallen
like
Order
that's as
is
close as
like
I got.
that's as close as I got to. Like I play a little bit of Bloodborne, but it's just these games are just they just not for me, man. Like I'm just not.
Yeah, I
But
don't. I play games to have
Blown
fun,
away.
not really to
yeah,
get
like
pissed off.
like that's like the main thing, right? Like just how beautiful this game looks, right? The visuals
hmm
and the
Yeah, the way
environments
he's
and
walking through the snow it looks so real.
yeah.
Yeah, the fight that he's having, at least the part
Like
I'm at, is fucking dope too.
I skipped
Yeah.
it up a bit to like the 6 minute and like 40 minute mark. It's like 6 minute 40 second mark, and he's fighting a fucking dragon, dude, and it's crazy.
Yeah, let's
Like
get
it
that.
looks
I want to see
like
that dragon.
wild. Like, it looks so good.
The stuttering you guys are getting is not from the game; it's from the video buffering because I set it to 4K like a crazy person. Um, but that, first of all, that dragon looks fucking dope. Like
Yeah,
it
right.
had
It's
a
all white.
close up screen. Like no, that face is so detailed. It has two different colored eyes. I noticed looking at it on this screen. Like that is it's crazy to me that they've been able to do this. But I imagine after that first little bit people saw, they got probably a ton of support after it kind of got hype. Like
Mm.
if it's already gonna have the super sampling from Nvidia, like they're getting support from those guys. So yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, it
Yeah,
looks
it's just
Uh
beautiful.
yeah, it really does. And then like I skipped it up a little bit more, and you get like other different types of environments in this as well, apart from the snow and the other stuff, the foresty type area that we saw.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. This game looks so good.
Mm-hmm. My mind went Ghost of Tsushima as I'm looking at some of these environments here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Which I still
uh,
need to get the director's cut upgrade
I do as
because
well.
I really want to play that. I just got to get it.
Oh, look at that fucking giant bear! Oh, that looks cool. Uh, yeah, this game looks gorgeous. But we'll
Yeah.
we'll we'll see how it shakes out in the end. But
Hmm.
it
Do we have
it's looking good.
like a release date for this or no? Is it just I guess
I
too
think
early for
I
that, right?
think next year sometime. I think is what I think it is. I don't think it has an
Hmm.
actual date. I think it's got like the window is that
Yeah,
year.
it's like the window, right? Like 2022. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Cool. Well, yeah, I mean that game looks great. So, and even again for somebody who's not really into that kind of stuff, like those kinds of games, like the Souls like or the Dark Souls Z type stuff. Just
Mm-hmm.
like looking at it, I'm like, this is amazing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah.
yeah,
I will enjoy watching people play it.
play it. Yeah.
Unless something happens that magically makes me love Souls likes, then I probably won't be playing it. Not just because I don't play those types of games. Like there's nothing in here that looks bad. Like everything in here looked great.
Mm,
Uh, but yeah, if we're ready to move on, we sure can.
we sure can. So the next thing we have is that the Bethesda has announced they are enhancing, updating uh Quake. So we have
Oh.
a Quake
OG,
2021 official trailer.
yeah. I read
So
if
I
you
used
already
to
own Quake, you get this for free. By the way.
Oh, interesting. So I have Quake 2. So when I think of the Quake games, that's the one that I used to think of a lot because funny enough, um I don't know if you guys remember where you were uh for on September 11th, 2001, which the infamous day that now it is, right?
Yeah.
I remember this day quite specifically because not only is it a day after my birthday, but um so I was originally like, you get up early for school and stuff because you got to go to school, you're a kid or whatever, right? So I remember getting up early for that. And then like so because New York is obviously like 3 hours ahead because it's like Eastern time zone, and
Mm-hmm.
I was
Well,
I'm in California. So
I was at school when it happened. I believe.
I remember I hadn't gone to school yet because that was yeah, because again it happened like before I like, was even
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be there. So I remember like everybody watching the news as that was going down, and me and like I think like it was like an aunt or something were playing like Quake 2. And like just to like I guess it was just to like not have me look at whatever was going on. So I actually didn't even end up going to school that day because of what happened, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
playing Quake 2, man. We're just chilling and playing Quake. So that's my little 9/11 story for there, which is coming up on 20 years. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is crazy.
But anyway, yeah, Quake. This I apologize for that little story there, but Quake, the official trailer looks pretty cool. I
Uh,
was originally like expecting them to kind of do like a kind of like how they treated Doom 2016, for this one.
yeah. Yeah.
But this definitely looks like it just looks like a visually enhanced version of the original instead of
I
like doing
know.
what they did for the other one.
I know. I played them like growing up. Some of them, and
Hmm.
I remember playing like. I can't remember like what's all like connected or not. I used to think like because Quake would give like birth to like almost the genre, right? Like to a lot of
Oh
those.
yeah.
They have like Quake cons and stuff now. So I remember playing
Hmm.
them as a kid.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean,
I don't have
this
any
trailer
specific memories.
came out of QuakeCon, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's
no,
it's.
I have like that one specific memory because of
Mm-hmm.
on the day that it had, you know,
Yeah,
because of what happened on that day, you know. So
I
that's
just
why I
know
brought up
like
that little
people
story.
love Quake. People love Quake.
Yeah,
Um,
I used to love playing this when I was younger, man. Yeah.
Like, my real only
and pretty
relationship
dope.
with Quake is, like, I had a patient, I was cleaning his teeth at work, and I heard
Oh,
the Discord sound, and I was like, "Is that Discord?" Like, it just kept going off, and then
yeah.
he's like, "Yeah? Like, how do you know what Discord is?" And I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
let
like,
me
I
tell
like to play
you.
video games." And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, really?" So then we kept talking, and he said that his favorite game was Quake. He's, like, 35, and he just loves Quake, like, this is his favorite game, plays it all the time.
Dang, that's cool. That
Well,
makes sense. I mean,
I bet he
it
was
adds up
really
for
happy to hear about this.
Yeah,
yeah.
probably. Next time I see him, I'm gonna be like, "Did you see?"
Yeah. Did you see the Quake trailer from
Now,
QuakeCon?
it's really cool that they did that though, and the trailer actually looks good. It kind of makes me want to play it almost, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it looks neat.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool. It looks good. Always, you know, always cool to see when they update older games like that.
all right.
All right. So moving on to the next thing. Cyberpunk 2077 recently released a new patch, which includes free DLC and fixes for nearly 100 quests. Um, so I don't actually have this game installed anymore because I played it and beat it when it first came out. Whenever you know, like late last year when it came out, like in December or whatever the hell that was.
Mhm.
So I'm done with the game already. Um, I never really had like some of the bigger issues that other people had. It was to me, it felt like it was more of a console thing. All the big problems people were having with this game, but it's cool that they're still continuing to improve it in how all the ways that they can by adding all the patches and fixes for quests and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's great that they're supporting it still. I
yeah,
know they showed some stuff on some streams and stuff, and I feel bad for the people that are working on it. And when shit like this happens, it's funny. But I think as they were showing off, like, yeah, we fixed all this stuff. I think a random NPC T posed right on stream,
oh,
and like the chat
oh no,
erupted, and it's
uh,
just like, oh god, no,
that is what you do not want happening.
uh,
That sucks, man.
I do remember
uh,
you, Daniel, like, having, like, like, minor issues on your stream, like,
Yeah,
there
there
was,
was
like,
like
one
some things here and there.
I had
yeah,
some
like,
strange
certain
issues
things
too.
wouldn't trigger, but it wasn't, like
Yeah, it wasn't like anything like super game breaking, but at one point I had like a side quest that I wanted to do, and it never like it was like so bugged and as you guys would say, scuffed that it wouldn't let me finish it. So I just like, all right, well, fuck this side quest then. I'll just go do something else. And so I never got to finish that one. But like apart from that, I can't really think of anything that was like super major. Like I said, there was small things here and there, but I was able to play the game, beat it, and I had fun with the ending that I got. And I actually enjoyed that game. Like I had a good fun experience with that game. I know like a lot of people will feel differently about that, but I like for me, I can only speak on my experience. I had a good time with Cyberpunk 2077.
I
So
had some funny bugs when I played, like you're driving a motorcycle and you're randomly T-posed naked in the air and still driving around on a motorcycle. Like you're looking in the mirror. For some reason, you have no hair on your head and you're completely naked. Like,
yeah,
well, I've
that would
had
happen to
some.
me. That would happen to my
There's some
character
funny.
sometimes. Like
There's
when you
some
would like
funny
look in the
bugs.
mirror or like when you would like switch clothes or something, it would be kind of buggy that way. But yeah, I mean, I never had anything too crazy.
Yeah, I never had anything that was like, all right, you can't continue.
Yeah,
I did put my run on pause, but I'll probably eventually go back to it when they throw out. Like, I'm just waiting for it all to get updated at this point because like they're still doing that, and I still have it installed. And even though it's taking up a big chunk of space, because God, I don't want to have to
it's a
download
big
it again
game,
because it
right?
took fucking
Yeah,
forever.
yeah, it's
Um,
a big game.
so
Yeah, that's why
yeah,
I wanna get more storage for my PC because some of these games are huge, man, and like having to uninstall and reinstall them all the time just to make space and that shit sucks, man. Let me tell you.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like the other,
it's old.
like last week when I was reinstalling the Avengers game, I was like, oh my god, dude. And then not
Is it
only
is it a
that,
big game?
Oh, it's a huge game. And not only that, when the new update came out that I was talking about earlier, the Wakanda Black Panther stuff, it was like a 32 gig update. I was like, oh my God, bro. Like the game itself is like 70 gigs or something like that. And then there's like a 32 gig update. I was like, fuck, man. That
Oh my
shit's rough.
god.
It takes a while. So anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I salute the Cyberpunk team for continuing to make things right and better and all that stuff
Mm-hmm. And
and
Yeah.
like
all that.
giving
Cause
that free DLC because I'm
yeah,
assuming because they had so many issues.
yeah, it's free
Yeah.
DLC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Since we're just on Cyberpunk and CD Projekt, there was a rumor a while back. I think we talked about it on the show of a new Witcher game getting
Mm,
in the early stages or in production and stuff like that. I
yeah.
saw it pop up, the rumor pop up again about it the other day. Just something I was throwing out there, While like
Mm.
it's great that they're still supporting Cyberpunk, but
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, you love to see it, man. I mean, we
as
always talk,
they're
we always talk about what happened with No Man's Sky. Like that just had its like 5 year anniversary, and there's been so many updates to that. I forget how many expand or whatever there's been to that, but we talked about it like a week or two ago, and it's a lot.
if there was a redemption like award for like a game, it would
Yeah,
absolutely go to that dev team. And not just that, but the support that they continue to give that game through free updates is insane to me. Like
yeah.
they have whole content, things that you could charge expansion pack type money for. Just throw it in
That
there.
they just give away for free. Yeah.
Free. Yeah, like
And
like
then like the same thing, I also give props to the Battlefront 2 team because that game was a shit show with the loot boxes and stuff when it first came out.
mhm.
Because I mean I pre-ordered the game, like I've had the game since before it came out, So I've been there through every stage of that game, and like man, it's kind of a shame that they're not adding any more content to it. I mean they haven't been for a long time now, but like they could have done so much more to it. But I mean even then, even still, regardless, what they did end up doing was good. They added a lot more to it for free, and like they uh they did a good job with it. So props to all these games for still keeping up with it and adding free stuff, after the game comes out and everything. So
Yeah. All right, if we're ready to move on, we can.
yes, sir,
Next
we
up,
are.
we have a game I know Alex is hyped for. Right, Alex? You're hyped for this one? I'm telling you right now, it is WWE 2K22. Joking, obviously.
Absolutely. That's actually top of my list.
Oh my God, wrestling.
Wrestling. Oh, Lordy. Um, So WWE 2K, we haven't had a wrestling game in a while. The last one was really fucking bad, and they were like, you know what? We're gonna take time off and fix it. Which is so I have 3 articles here for WWE 2K stuff because it was like, here's 3 different things that happened with this. So it's gonna be interesting to get into it. First up, we have a date, which will be March 2022 is gonna be the release for the next WWE 2K game. Next, we have the gameplay trailer that they showed at SummerSlam. SummerSlam, this was this weekend. I didn't watch it. I'm not really watching wrestling at the moment. But I still love to go back. I even played the broken fucking 2K game. I went back and I played that shit. So
The only thing that I know about wrestling that happened this past week is that CM Punk is back with AEW. That's it.
yeah. CM Punk made his return at AEW. SummerSlam spoilers. Becky Lynch came back for them, and Brock Lesnar showed up at the end of the show with hair and a beard and looks weird.
Oh wow.
But yeah, this trailer actually looks really good. Like they looks like they've done a lot of work on the new. I mean, it's just 30 seconds in here of just some wrestling moves getting showed off.
So now that
we'll
John
see.
Cena is not a wrestler and he's an actor, just like The Rock, is he still in these games?
I'm sure he is. Yeah, sometimes they'll have. It's funny you mentioned John Cena because he did wrestle this weekend. He was there. He was at SummerSlam. He wrestled Roman Reigns. So he came back. He came back and did a few things here and there, and then I think the rumor is that he's going to be gone for a while now again. Probably off being a Hollywood movie star like The Rock. Which, if you haven't seen the new Suicide Squad movie, Cena is fucking great in it.
Cena was really good in that.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah,
yes,
he was great in that.
So if you haven't seen it,
Because
check it out.
he was even good in Fast and Furious, although it wasn't, the best movie ever.
Uh-huh.
But he was also in that like Cock Blockers movie, and that was a great movie. Like he was good in that.
Yeah, I know he was
Yeah.
in that, but I actually haven't seen that, so that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the movie that launched his entire career, The Marine.
Marine.
Oh
Oh Lord.
yeah.
The movie with 1 billion sequels, and none of them are any good. Uh, so that was the trailer we showed. Next up, so the trailer and stuff came out for SummerSlam, and then like the very next day, I saw this article titled "WWE and 2K's relationship is seriously strained." So we have some juicy drama.
Oh
Yeah, let
boy.
me adjust my glasses. It was revealed during. I'm gonna read the article here for you, and I can drop this in the Discord as well for you, Alex, if you want to look it over. I have ad blocker. I don't know how bad this website is with ads. Wrestling websites are notorious for having really bad ads. It was revealed on Saturday evening during WWE's SummerSlam event that 2K Sports made the decision to delay WWE 2K 2K22 until March of 2022. The decision has been has seen mixed reactions from fans across the internet, but that's not the only place having issues with the delay. Speaking with multiple sources at 2K Sports, the developer Visual Concepts and beyond, there have been quite a few high-level decisions causing concerns among the teams. SGO, which is the website we're reading this from, it's called Sports Gamers Online. SGO has learned that there's been infighting regarding the direction of the game. 2K Sports and WWE have been going back and forth on pushing back WWE 2K since almost immediately after the game was announced. Since they've been fighting since like they announced the game, pretty much is what that's saying. Most of those within WWE wanted the game to release in its normal Survivor Series window. Those from 2K Sports and Visual Concepts, on the other hand, pushed hard for a delay on the launch. One of the reasons given to us were the sheer amount of releases over the past year. So when they say releases, wrestlers have been getting released over the past year, which means they don't work for WWE anymore. They've been getting like fired, basically. Sheer amount of releases on the team. The team has been working on scanning, so they scan wrestlers and build new character models pretty much from the ground up. Well, a number of superstars built were on the release list. One source even said this is shaping up to be the most outdated roster a game has seen.
Damn.
The game is expected to include a large amount of wrestlers no longer with the WWE. But the March release window now gives them time to adjust with moving wrestlers and adding any new ones that WWE may want. The roster cuts aren't just the only point of content between the parties. With the miserable release that was WWE 2K20, WWE has apparently been more difficult to deal with during this development cycle. WWE has made it known that they want a better product this time around. Despite still making record profits, the largest wrestling company in the world lost quite a bit due to the poor launch and reception surrounding WWE 2K20. Things got really bad when it reached a point where refunds were starting to be issued. There's been a lot of talks on whether it may be time for a split between the parties. 2K Sports has been the publisher of WWE video games since taking over for THQ in 2013 as part of this former studio's closure. However, after years of working with Yuke's as the developer of the series, Visual Concepts took over solely for WWE 2K20. Fast forward to early 2020, while WWE and Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of 2K Sports, were having multiple meetings over the future, the Stanford-based company did hang other publishers out as far as possible future partners. It was like a threat to cancel cable, one person said. Threats would come out to them claiming threats would come out of them claiming to have interest from one company here or there. I don't know how credible that was though, or just idle threats. The last extension of the agreement was made in 2016, though no terms have been disclosed other than it was a multi-year deal. Rumors had it at 6 to 7 years. With WWE 2K 2022, WWE has made it known, almost annoyingly so, how much this game means to the future of the franchise. to put it bluntly, it could be the end if it fails both critically and commercially again.
Mm.
Um,
That makes sense, especially if they're like you were saying, their relationship is already strained and whatnot. Then yeah, if this doesn't do well, I could definitely see that
Here's the
being like,
thing:
all
I
right,
see
time to split.
it's like ugly on both sides. Part of it, like some part of it, yeah, I see the WWE's point, and on the other part, it's like I understand the game developers' point. Like they need the delay, like
Yeah,
because we talk about it all the time. We support delays. We want good games,
yeah,
and you get
Hmm.
good games. You get sometimes you need more time to fix them.
you need more time.
Um,
Yeah,
especially with, like there just seems to be like a lot of rough spots here. Um, I do want to point this out because we're talking about delays and people not having to put extra pressure on themselves. Well, with the extra pressure during the build, the development team at Visual Concepts already pinched, underfunded, and understaffed compared to the past. Sorry,
the
Alex, your
pants
name. I saw your name and it popped into my fucking head.
compared to the pants.
Compared to the past, have openly been angry.
That's good.
Oh my goodness. It just hasn't been a fun place to be, one source said. Second guessing happens constantly because of desperation to get things right. Looking rough over there at the 2K Pants Studio Pants.
Yeah,
Well, and like, what were the previous games like? Did you guys play them?
The very last one they did was horrible. Like it it ran like booty. It had tons of bugs. It was just bad. And they're usually mediocre, but this one was really bad. Like I play them because they're wrestling and they're kind of fun, but that's like it. Like that one was so bad that they were having to do refunds, and like they've gotten really 2K is really bad with like microtransaction stuff
yeah.
in games, and it
Like
was really bad.
I don't play the wrestling ones. That's more Josh's expertise. So as far as sports games go, I'll stick to like FIFA or like the NBA games because those are like my main two sports, soccer and basketball. So yeah, like in terms of like the 2K, like the NBA stuff, they are really bad with microtransactions. So they have like this thing where it's like, my career mode where you like make your own character and you can like, work your way up from like high school to college, so, the league or whatever, right? And so you build your own character up, and then they have this thing called VC, which I guess stands for like virtual coin or some shit. And like you either have to like earn it in game or you can like pay for it, like with real money, right? And it's for like a bunch of different other stuff. And they're just so bad with like, yeah, with like microtransactions and all that, like small annoying like ads and shit like that,
It's
So
the
it's
exact
pretty
same
bad.
thing in the wrestling games. The VC
Yeah.
is a thing you can buy. You can buy parts and the clothing, and like it's just like
Yeah,
ugh. It's
it's like
So you
it's too
already
much.
pay for the game.
Yeah, you pay for the
mm-hmm.
game. Then on top of that, they like, oh, here's VC you could buy if you want.
And on top of that, there's fucking ad placement in these types of games.
Yeah, they have like ads,
Like
like literal ads in the games.
so,
It's
it
yeah,
feels the 2K ones in particular feel very scummy. Some just feel kind of dirty. Like I don't really have a lot of problem with like if it's cosmetic stuff usually if it's a microtransaction, but it's also like I'm paying $60 for a game, and you're gonna throw microtransactions at me. You're gonna throw ads at me, and it's just bad. But like the games that I think do it well are games like Path of Exile, which that game is free to play. It's not pay to win, but it does have microtransactions in there for things like storage and cosmetics that make you look dope AF. But you can play the whole game without needing to buy a single thing. Although I do
yeah,
think you should get at least one extra storage tab for free, but they haven't done that yet. But oh, it's real bad. It's real bad with the 2K stuff.
it really is. Yeah,
That's why I was kind of interested in this one with the delay, the extra time they've took, the horrible amount of shit they got for the last one, right? Like I mean,
yeah,
tons of criticism, and not just from the fans, from WWE now. So like, all right, so WWE is now putting pressure on them to put out the product. They don't think the product is ready, so they want to delay, and it's like, which I guess they won in the end because they got their delay. It's delayed to March. Um, So I'm kind of curious to where they'll go next. It's like okay, you're WWE, you're hitting us with you want this product, it needs to succeed. You don't want to take a big loss on it. For that not to happen, we need this delay. You want to make a bunch of money on it, right? So give us the delay. Like,
Well, even though Cyberpunk was glitchy, they delayed it how many times, and they probably made
Yeah.
bank off of it, even though they delayed
mm-hmm,
it
Oh
for
yeah.
years.
that's true.
They really
Uh,
did. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious to how this will shake up in the
Yeah.
future. I'm
It's
curious if
interesting.
this
Like
agreement's going to
so.
end or where are
Yeah.
they going
So
to go
this is gonna be
next.
my question. So if this relationship ends and 2K is like and 2K and WWE or WWE split ways, who do you think, as our resident wrestling game expert here, who do you think would be the best to continue forward making WWE games going forward if this is the end for this relationship?
I don't have a fucking clue, to be honest with you. Like, because like, who do you know that makes wrestling games? The only people I know are the 2K guys. Like, other than like they have like Fire Pro Wrestling, but that's totally different than what this is. AEW is supposedly working on a game. I'm kind of curious to see how their game is. I don't even know who they're working with. Let me see if I can find it really quick because I'm kind of curious now.
Is 2K like affiliated with EA? Because EA does sports games, right?
Yeah, they're two different things, but yeah, the EA does like they used to do like NBA Live back in the day, which is kind of like a competitor to NBA 2K. They do the FIFA stuff, they do Madden. Those are the things that EA does. And then yeah, 2K does NBA and then WWE and I forget what else, but they do other stuff too. But yeah, they both make sports games, but they're different.
It's really funny
Yeah.
that that article came up because I just typed in an AEW video game, and an
Mhm.
article came up from August 13th. And I don't know how true this is, but there's like an article on here that says um, the AEW video game seems to be doing everything right, which I find kind of funny that there's an article that says that, and then a few days later we get an article that is like 2K's relationship with WWE is strange, like.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I don't know dick about. Well, I guess there's some info in here about the AEW game. Well, let's have a look. See here.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know there was an AEW game.
Oh,
Mm.
here. You're gonna love this. So
No,
remember
let's
how
hear
we
it. Let's hear
we
it.
mentioned the team that used to make the wrestling games, THQ
Yeah.
and like Ukes, I think it is. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
So the team that previously worked on here's what it is. Ukes has a storied history developing wrestling games, including the WWE SmackDown vs. Raw series, and they worked on the WWE 2K's franchise until 2018. Um, so these are the guys that are now working with AEW. They're like, okay, WWE doesn't want us to do this anymore. All right, we're gonna go to AEW now. This is like wrestling drama, except in
It
video games.
Yeah, it's like a whole wrestling storyline already, dude. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy,
Right.
dude.
Uh,
Damn.
and
Yo,
the thing
fuck,
is,
man.
the developers have so much more experience than who they have at 2K now. Um,
So we just have
uh,
to figure out who in this situation are the faces and who are the heels, man. What's going on, man.
Look, the WWE will always be heel. Like they're the big corporate overlord. Vince is in charge. Even though they have a guy there that acts like he's in charge, he's there to take the heat. That's all he's there for. Like, um, but yeah, what's more is that Hideyuki uh, Iwashita, the director of WWF's No Mercy, has been recruited for the AEW's console game.
Ooh.
The,
So here's what I was gonna say. There is one game that I remember playing. There's one wrestling game that I remember playing more than any of the other ones because I used. So I used to like have cousins who would go over to the house and we play like on the N64 and shit, right? Like back in the day. So
Mhm.
there's a game on the N6 or the wrestling game on the N64, which is No Mercy, right? Is that the N64 wrestling game? So I used to play that one a lot, and my cousin would be Stone Cold, and I'd be The Rock, and we used to beat the shit out of each other, right? Like it was good times, bro. So that's like yeah, that's the one that I always remember. And then you mentioned like SmackDown, the that one I
Raw versus
remember as
SmackDown.
well.
Yeah.
But yeah, No Mercy is like the one wrestling game that I've played like
Let me
the
tell you
most,
something
right?
about No Mercy, Daniel. WWF No Mercy is to this day considered one of the greatest wrestling games of all time.
I mean, I remember it being pretty fun back in the day. Yeah, I haven't played in years because again, N64. But like that game was fun, man.
Yeah. So they got him as like the game director. So that's big.
That's
That's
cool.
big right
Yeah,
there.
that is pretty good, pretty dope.
Here's the other thing about AEW. A lot of those guys are young. They're like our generation, right? They're gamers.
Mhm.
They know what they like and
Yeah.
they know what they don't like. And they're the guys over there calling shots.
No
Um,
microtransactions, baby. Let's
so
go.
AEW is putting a lot into its gaming initiative, in particular for its debut console game. Tony Khan, the president of All Elite Wrestling, has stated that the company has invested $20 million into the title. This is a huge sum of money for the company's debut game, but it goes
Yeah.
to show that it is something AEW is taking very seriously. Money isn't the only commodity being pumped into the game, as AEW is seemingly allowing Ukes to take its time with it. The AEW game doesn't have a set launch date, which ultimately could make for a better game and a better experience for its players.
I
By
mean, yeah,
giving
obviously.
by giving an experienced developer like Ukes the time to make the game well, with millions of dollars at its disposal, fans could be in for a treat with the AEW console game.
Hmm.
Uh,
So I didn't even know they were making a game to begin with. So yeah, they can take all their time. Like I'm sure this will be fun. You know, like they're doing the exact opposite of the WWE 2K stuff. So
Wait,
that's
right? It's weird looking at that article and then looking at this article, right?
yeah.
Because this came out on August 13th, I believe, is when this article came out.
Mm-hmm. We're
The
talking
article that
like
we read for like the
over
WWE
a week
thing
at this
was
point.
like yesterday or today.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like a wrestling storyline. Like it's crazy. Like you got the flip floppers, you got like, or we're under pressure. Like what's going on? And then like
Yeah,
AEW's over there, like we just enjoy games, man. That's what we do.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't expect that to take us long. I'm sorry, that was a lot of wrestling.
Hey, it's all good,
Uh,
man.
It's interesting though, like even if you don't like wrestling, it's still like kind of hilarious.
like
Yeah,
looking at it behind the scenes, right? Like
Yeah.
the juicy dramas, which that's what wrestling
wow.
is.
Yeah.
Uh, cool.
All right. What do we have next here? We have
uh, Skyrim is coming back, baby.
oh boy, again. So
Are you ready?
here's the funny thing about Skyrim.
I must have put this in the
This
news, to be honest with you.
this has been out. This game has been out for what, 10 years now at this point? And they keep trying to like pump out a new version of it like every like what like basically like every year since this game has been out, right? They're like, oh, here's the Samsung refrigerator edition, here's the fucking, you know, here's this version, here's that version of this game, right? I have never played Skyrim a day in my life. A day in my life. And this game has been out for 10 years. And everybody's like, oh, you know, I can't play Skyrim because I got like 500 mods on it and it busts my shit every time I try to play it. You know what I mean? It's like what the hell, dude? And I've never, again, I never played this. I never played this game a day in my life. I haven't played any of the Elder Scrolls games. And it's just crazy to me that like they just keep like trying to, you know, I'm probably the reason why they keep pumping this game. Like they trying to sell me this game because I've never played it. And it's
Stay
just
tuned for next
insane to
year.
me.
So
Yeah,
2022 is gonna be like Skyrim just for Daniel edition. It's gonna be the whole
yeah.
box is gonna be green. The disc is gonna be green. It's gonna have
They're
your
gonna make it
logo on the
towards
disc.
my
It's
liking on it.
it's
Yeah,
like we're gonna get
Yes.
this some bitch play this game in
right.
one way or another.
It's just
Which
so crazy to me that they keep trying to like re-release this game all the time. It's so crazy.
yeah.
How
Um
many Elder Scroll games are there?
There's Skyrim is the fifth one, right?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Damn.
They're working on the sixth very slowly. Um
So
because
there's
they're doing
Skyrim
all
is
the
the
other stuff.
fifth. There's Oblivion. There's Morrowind, and then I don't know what the first two are called, but
Daggerfall is a thing. I don't remember what that is. That might be two. I'll be honest with you. My first experience was with almost said Skyrim with Elder Scrolls was Oblivion. That was like my
mm.
first. Arena and
And,
Daggerfall is what Majin
yeah,
says in chat.
then Hannah in the chat, our friend Nasty Stig, says Elder Scrolls Online is also a thing too. Yeah, that's
Oh.
yeah.
Here's what Todd Howard has said about Elder Scrolls.
All right,
As
let's
long as
hear it,
people
Todd.
are buying it and making money, they're gonna keep making throwing. I mean, sorry, Skyrim. They're gonna keep throwing it. They're gonna keep doing it. Why wouldn't they? They're making money. They would always.
Yep.
So
I
people are
mean, yeah.
buying this thing, and it. What amazes me is like, how, how, how have they just done this over and over? I remember years ago when people were up in arms about Skyrim having horse armor. Look how much microtransactions have grown since that many years ago happened. That's
Yeah.
insane to me. It is. I
But
cannot.
Josh, the other one was the Skyrim Special Edition. This new one is called the Anniversary Edition. All right,
Oh.
Yeah,
because it's the 10-year anniversary, man. Come on.
literally, the only thing that, to my knowledge, the only thing that they've done is like they had mods you could buy
Yeah,
in
so
like the Skyrim thing and add in here, and it's gonna
I'm
have
looking at the
fishing.
thing from QuakeCon here, and it says Anniversary Edition includes Skyrim Special Edition plus 500 plus creation elements available 11/11/21 plus a free next gen console upgrade. So sure, I mean I'm still not gonna play the game, but okay.
Oh my god. Never
I
let the
mean,
Rockstar and fucking Bethesda dudes get together. God
yeah, that's
damn.
another game, dude. GTA 5. That game has been out for almost 10 years now. It's been out since 2013, and we haven't had a GTA game since.
They got the same
Is it?
game plan.
Because they just like, all right, we got the GTA Online thing going, and we don't have to, I mean, we've talked about the rumors of GTA 6 and everything. I hope they're actually true and they're working on it and everything, because
Mhm.
I would like to play another GTA game, but online, dude, like I played it for a while and it was fun, but it just gets old after a bit.
I'm gonna segue because it's not. Oh no, you got it in the news. Never mind. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I
All
was
right.
gonna say. It's a thing that's a neighbor to that thing.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about this. We'll move on to the next thing if
Yeah, no, we don't need to.
we're good.
Bethesda doesn't need our help to sell Skyrim. I mean, my
No.
god, they got
I mean,
6 billion copies of it.
not that I would anyway. I've already, I've never played it, so
Mhm.
you get nothing out of me. I can't speak on that. Anyway, we have some Halo news, which I know Josh is just over the moon for.
Greatest game of all time.
Yeah. So for reference, people who don't know, Josh is not the biggest fan of the Halo franchise. I don't think he like hates it. He just thinks it's a little overrated. That's all. Right?
I play it up for the memes, but yeah, I mean that's just the general. It's like, yeah, I think it's a little
Yeah.
overrated, but
He's not the biggest fan. That's which is fine.
Fair.
So Halo Infinite will not have a co-op campaign or forage at launch, says 343 Industries. So they've been keeping hard at work to see that it maintains a 2021 release this year. They plan to release it like holiday season after the positive reception of the flight test beta period. Getting people hyped for it and whatnot. But they have a developer update, which is in this article here, up at the top, and they state that creative head Joseph Staten states that the exclusion of the two features at launch is disappointing, but they're 100% committed to a holiday timeframe for the game itself, with or without co-op campaign. As they focus on a quality experience for launch, they made the tough decision to delay the co-op campaign for launch. Dave, obviously COVID and all that stuff has had an effect on the game's development, as it has with many other things. But yeah, I mean, it's something that they plan on doing still, of course, but it's just not going to be available at launch. So, like for me, like I just kind of think of like all the Halo people, like Winter and Phenom and all them, right? That
Yeah,
like playing the Halo games and like co-op and stuff. So that sucks for them because they either they're gonna have they're gonna have to make a choice. Like you either buy the game and play through it solo, because we do know is that the multiplayer is going to be its own separate thing, so they're not even going to have multiplayer as a part of this game.
that's right.
So it's going to be its own separate thing. So you either get the game, play through it solo, or you wait until they add co-op and maybe run the risk of getting spoiled and all that stuff. Which, I mean, for a Halo game, I mean, whatever, right? Like it's
Mm.
but yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing that they won't have
Mhm.
uh co-op or forge for it, which, like, if they don't have that, like, what else is this game gonna have? Is it just gonna be like single player story? Is that all the
I
game has?
guess
Like,
Yeah.
I guess so. Um, as an outside observer that has never played
mm,
Halo, and will I have the Master Chief Collection? Thank you, Winter. I will play it at some point, I'm sure.
yeah,
But just the general disappointment with not having the co-op, not having the forge, like, and not only that, the general, like, when they first showed it off, Halo Infinite, it's still on the new Xbox's box. Like, Master Chief is on some of those boxes that they're using to sell that console, and this game still isn't out. And they pumped the brakes
yeah,
on it real hard when they showed off that. Oh, we're dropping frames. Uh, uh, they pumped the brakes on it real hard when people saw that and was like, "Ooh," you know what I mean? Like, so that's a little. It feels so weird
yeah.
because
I
like
mean, the thing
Halo was
with
always
Halo
their
is
big
like,
thing
yeah, it's
for
supposed to be like a
Xbox.
console selling game, right? Like you buy an
Mm-hmm.
Xbox to play Halo and shit, right? Like that
Yeah.
was how it was back in the day. And the fact that they didn't have Halo ready for this gen's Xbox, kind of, it's a little it's a little rough for them, man. Like Xbox has a lot of good stuff coming, but they don't have a lot of that out yet. That we're
Hmm.
still waiting for that. So yeah.
Well, like I grew up with Halo. Like I love Halo. Don't get me wrong. Like played through, the first 5, but
Mm,
I never played them by myself. Like I always played them with my friends.
yeah,
Like I can't picture myself playing Halo solo.
like alone. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's just I they're just focusing on the story, I guess, because I mean, they're a bunch of the other stuff that normally would come with a lot of the other Halo games are just not
You
in
guys
this
carry
one,
on.
or
I need to
won't
be
be at least at
right
launch.
back.
All right. But yeah, I mean, that's it is what it is. That's
Mhm.
you know, for all the Halo people out there, are you going to pick up the game at launch, or are you going to wait until they add more of the features? Because like nowadays, a lot of the Microsoft games that are on Xbox usually come out on PC as well. So like even if you don't have an Xbox, you can still play their games.
Mhm.
Like I don't have an Xbox. The last Xbox that I had was the original one, like the OG Xbox, like GameCube era, PS2 era Xbox.
Yep.
So I've never really been like much of an Xbox person. I've always been like Team PlayStation, but I did have OG Xbox. But anyway, like a lot of their games you can play on PC now. So I mean that's like uh, it's all good either way. But
Mhm.
anyway, we can move on from that. However,
All right.
to this next thing here. Uh, so there was a tweet like not that long ago, because coming up here on Wednesday, which is in 2 days, by the way, we're going to be having the opening night live of Gamescom. And they're going to be revealing and announcing a bunch of new shit, right? And one of those things, I was looking at Twitter a couple days ago, and like I noticed that Saints Row tweeted out their website, and when you go to their website, there is a brick wall with spray paint all over it, and it says rebooting. So we might be getting a Saints Row reboot coming here pretty soon.
I ain't gonna take the credit or nothing, but Daniel and I are magic,
listen.
and we made this happen.
We make a lot of stuff happen. We've been talking a lot about Saints Row as well. Like we recently played through the remaster of that one. I plan
We
on playing it
co-op.
with Alex at some point as well.
Oh, it's so
We
much
plan on
fun.
going through that. Yeah, it was a
I
blast
can't
playing
wait.
through that. And I love the Saints Row games. They're fun. I've played 2, 3, and 4. I've never played the original one because again, I think that was like a 360 only kind of game, or I think maybe it was on PC too, but I never really like it's an older game, like the first one, so I never played it. 2 and 3 I played, or actually 2, 3, and 4 I played on the PS3. And then I recently replayed the new remaster of 3 on PC with Josh, and that was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was fun. But yeah, I love the Saints Row games. I'm really curious to see how they're gonna do this reboot. I'll be very, very excited to see what happens on Gamescom opening night. Because yeah, I mean I'm a big fan of the Saints Row games. Like they're just a fun, silly, goofy time. They're like a sillier Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean? Like at first they kind of started off serious, like a little bit more serious, but with each passing game, they kind of just got a little bit more sillier.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just a fun time, man. Like really, like that's what they are. So I can't wait to see what they do with these games. And yeah, I'm all for this, man. I can't wait. I
I
can't wait.
hope it's. I hope it's not like. I hope it's kind of like making fun of reboot, like a reboot. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of doing that Jay and Silent Bob reboot kind of thing, where it's just like we're not like remaking like a game, and we're not like completely ignoring what we had in the past. We're kind of making fun of it
Mm,
a little bit of the new stuff, and then just have new stuff. That's what I want it to kind of be. I'm excited to
yeah,
see what happens. And to be honest with you, I forgot about Gamescom happening till like the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that's right.
yeah,
We're
man.
gonna
It's
get,
coming up. We're gonna be getting a lot more news here pretty soon.
we're gonna be getting some announcements." So,
Yeah, yeah. Which speaking of announcements, of Alex, if you have nothing to add to this, we can move on to the next thing, which I think will segue pretty perfectly. Speaking of announcements, we have a reveal trailer for a game called EXE Killer. And there's a reveal trailer for this, which we're going to watch now. And this is cool to me because a cyberpunk Western game, tell me that doesn't sound cool, bro. Like, come
it
on.
it
That sounds sick.
sounds cool. I watched this trailer with
Uh huh.
sound, and I had to turn it off because
Ooh.
the voice acting was really bad in my opinion. Like,
Oh,
I think it's written really bad. That's just the dialogue, though. I think what I'm seeing looks cool. Like, this
Yeah.
looks dope. But man, hearing them talk was painful to me. I was like, fucking hire Daniel. He's 1,000
Hey, I'll
times
do it.
better than whoever
Hit
they
me
had.
up.
No,
Hit me up.
I mean the
Whatever.
shit on somebody working. Like I get you're making the, and it could be placeholder dialogue, maybe. I hope to God it is. But oof, some of that voice acting in this trailer was like, it's really bad.
The other thing about this game is that it's being made by literally 4 people.
That
what?
I mean, that's probably one
4
of them
people.
voice
Yeah.
acting.
And it looks like that.
Yeah. It's 4 people are working on this game.
Yeah, I
Paradox
mean,
Studio is a
all the
studio
gameplay and
comprising of
stuff
4
looks
people.
great. Like the character
Wow.
designs look cool. I mean, like, and that stuff looks cool. But ooh, the voice acting was like, oof, was a
Mm.
little much for me. But
I get you. I get you.
what they showed looked great. Um, that's just a reveal.
Now,
Do they have a date?
so now that I'm like listening to this trailer again, I can see what you're saying by the voice acting. I didn't,
Mm.
yeah, it's not yeah, it's not the best, but I mean, hey, well, we'll see. It's something. It's one of those games to like, we would look forward. We would we watch your career with great interest, kind of thing. Like
No,
Palpatine told Anakin at the end of Phantom Menace, we'll
the
watch your
I
career with great interest.
the idea behind it looks good. What they showed in this trailer looks good. I only have the one complaint about what I saw, and that was it's relatively minor compared to all this other stuff. Uh, but yeah, that the trailer looked good.
I just can't believe 4 people are working on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
nuts. I didn't even realize that till Daniel said it.
Yeah, it's only a studio of 4 people are working on it, so that's also something to keep in mind for that game. But yeah, I agree with you. The idea cyberpunk Western game sounds so cool. So I'm all about it.
We
Oh, yeah.
accept gasoline. I'm just looking at some of
Yeah,
that
but
stuff.
there's that. That's our gaming news. If we're done with that,
Yes, yes. I don't think anything broke at all, so we can move on.
since we've been okay. All right, well we'll get through this. We'll get through the TV news and the movie news here because it should be this should go a little bit quicker. I think.
The gaming news we had a lot of.
Yeah. So the first thing that we have here is we have the official trailer for Star Wars Visions, which is the new upcoming Star Wars anime coming out next month.
It
And I
looks
am
so cool.
pretty excited for this. If you guys haven't seen the trailer for this yet, oh my god. It looks incredible. I am so ready for this.
Yeah, it
And
looks
like
cool.
the English voice cast is incredible as well. So we're going to have 9 episodes, right?
Yes.
And as Josh plays the video on stream.
Yeah, I have it up.
So we have the duel, Tatooine Rhapsody, the twins, the Village Bride, the Ninth Jedi, TOB1, the Elder, La Pinocho, and then Akakiri. So those are our 9 episodes, right? So I'll talk about the voice cast here. The duel is gonna have Brian T as the Ronin, Lucy Liu as the bandit leader, Jaden Waldman as the village chief, and then we have Tatooine Rhapsody, which will have Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jay, Bobby Moynihan as Geezer, Timiora Morrison as Boba Fett, of course. Who else are you gonna have? We're gonna
Yeah.
have 10 as Boba. Shelby Young as K 344, Mark Thompson as Lan. The twins is gonna have Neil Patrick Harris as Carr and Allison Brie as Am. And then you have Jonathan Liplow portraying B20N. The Village is going to have Karen Fukuhara, Nicole Sakura, Christopher Sean, Kerry Hiroyuki Tagawa, Andrew Kishino, and Stephanie Sheh. The Ninth Jedi is going to have Kimiko Glenn, Andrew Kishino, again. Simu Liu, who's going to be our Shang-Chi in the upcoming Marvel stuff. He's going to be voicing this character. Masi Oka, Greg Chun, Neil Kaplan, and Michael Nicholas. TOB1, Jaden Waldman as TOB1, and Kyle Chandler as Mitaka. The Elder is going to have David Harbour of Stranger Things and Black Widow fame as Taijin, and Jordan Fisher as Don. Then we have James Hong as the Elder. That's the episode I can't wait for. That's gonna be a good one. We have Lop and Ocho, Anna Cathcart as Lop, Hiromi Dames as Ocho, Paul Nakauchi as Yasaburo, and Kyle McCarley as the Imperial Officer. And then finally for Akakiri, we have Henry Golding as Sabuki, Jamie Chung as Misa, George Takai as Senchu, Keone Young as Kamahachi, and Lorraine Toussaint as Masago. So there's our English voice cast for each of the episodes. And as you guys can see from the trailer, incredible visuals, looks amazing. I cannot wait to see some crazy lightsaber shit, anime shit going down. We get the Slave One, some stormtroopers, lots of lights. There's lots of different lightsabers. There at one point there's like a dude who busts out like an umbrella lightsaber type thing. That thing looks bonkers. And then there's like in the twins episode, you got like one of the twins with like 6 hands and 6 lightsabers. That looks crazy. We could see Tatooine again, with Tatooine Rhapsody, you get the Boonta Eve classic. that episode is going to be a rock opera type thing. So, speaking of music
Oh,
today, that's going to be a music episode. So, very interesting. Very intrigued in that.
super cool.
Yeah. So overall, I'm pretty hype.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't wait
excited
for
as
this.
fuck.
The other thing is, I think the all 9 episodes are releasing the same day instead of like weekly. You know how they normally do weekly Disney Plus stuff. So I
Ah,
think these are all releasing the same day. So that's pretty
Wow.
dope. I'm gonna just fucking watch all of them because
Yeah.
same.
you know,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
entire anthology. Wow.
September 22nd. So we got like a month till this is out. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Looks very,
Alex is
very good.
excited.
Very exciting. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Um, we have a bit of a rumor here. This is not like it's like good enough of a rumor for me to want to bring up because we normally we don't really like talking about shit that isn't like has some kind of you know something that could be real. But the rumor is that John Boyega could be starring in a Finn Disney Plus series. Um,
Oh.
so originally it was said that he didn't want to come back, but then he later had an interview where he's like, "Yo, I'll come back if like JJ's involved and like Kathleen Kennedy and people who were involved in the good stuff from his character, like in like Force Awakens and stuff, you know."
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of that kind of dealio. But according to the story, J.D. Dillard and Matt Owens, they were originally wanting to do a movie, but they were going to be refocusing it as a Disney Plus show starring Boyega as Finn. It would tell the story of a pre-First Order Finn. So basically, pre-Force Awakens, and then it would jump forward in time to after the Rise of Skywalker. So basically, it would take place before the movies and after the movies, which makes a whole lot of sense because I mean we don't really need to watch what he's doing in the movies because we already know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be cool to see what his time was like as a stormtrooper before the movies, and then hopefully after the movies when he gets training, hopefully they get him training as like a Jedi or a Force user or something, right? Because originally, and I don't know if you know this, Alex, but so in you see we've all seen Episode 9 here, right? The Rise of Skywalker. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a scene in the movie where they are looking for the dagger, right? On Pasana, which is like the desert planet where they got like the festival thing going on, right? It's
Yep.
it's after they meet Lando for the first time. And then there's like they're like going to Ochi's ship looking for the dagger, and then they like start sinking in like quicksand or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So Finn is like, "Oh, Ray, I gotta tell you something," and then like he doesn't get a chance to tell her, and then they sink into the underground or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
what he was gonna tell her in that moment is that he was force sensitive. So I
Right.
don't know if you knew
Okay.
that or not, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what he was going to tell her. They confirmed that like after the movie came out, like, oh, that's what he was supposed to do. And then like he doesn't tell her at all, like ever, like at all, like he's force sensitive. So it's like you set him up kind of being like the force user, or like, everybody thinks he's gonna be the dude with the lightsaber and stuff in the first movie, right? Like I don't know, like if you guys remember the marketing for Force Awakens,
No,
all the
I
posters and
definitely
stuff had
remember.
all the posters had Finn with the lightsaber, and all
Hmm.
that stuff. So they like had him set up for like 3 movies to become like a Jedi or a Force user or something. And they didn't end up doing jack shit with that in all of the movies. So I
Yeah,
hope
they
that if this show becomes a reality, they end up you know making justice for his character, man, because he got, in my opinion, he got done dirty in those movies.
Mm.
they baited and switched. They did a bait and
Yeah.
switch with him. Like
Which,
Yeah.
it
like, to be
was.
fair, like I was always under the impression that Rey was gonna be the Jedi. Like I always knew that, like from the start.
Mm-hmm.
The whole like Finn having the lightsaber in Force Awakens posters and trailers and stuff, like that was like that never worked on me because I always knew that Rey was gonna be the one. It's like it makes sense. Like Rey's gonna be the one. So I never like whatever.
My
But then later, once we found out that Finn was Force sensitive, it's like, well, why didn't you do anything with that? But anyway,
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
mean, my issue with Finn is like they just always send him on these weird, like he's on this casino thing now and he's
Hmm.
screaming about Ray every 5 seconds, and like I feel like there's a better story there for that character. that
Yeah, they. I
that
don't
that
think his Last Jedi storyline was great at all.
no, it could have been so much better. And like Boyega can do,
Oh, he's great,
like
and
he
like
can do fantastic stuff. Like he did what
yeah,
what they wrote for him. Is what I'm
yeah.
saying.
I mean, all these actors. Like, here's the thing. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the sequel trilogy. Everybody knows this, but like,
Yeah,
I will never say that it's fault of the actors. Like, they did
no.
what they were paid to do. You know what I mean? Like, they just did their job. You know, like they all killed it.
All I'm saying is Boyega can do so much more than what they gave him.
Yeah,
So like if they
and
do a
then
series, that would be fantastic.
yeah, I'd be all for it. And then the other thing about Boyega is like he's actually a Star Wars fan, like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would often post himself playing Battlefront 2 and stuff, like playing as his character and playing as other characters too. Like he actually is a fan of the stuff. Like I remember at one point, like remember when the whole "oh they fly now" thing happened?
Mm.
Boyega was like, "Well, no, they've flown before. Like there's like clone troopers with jetpacks and shit, right?" So like he knows the universe and stuff. So like you can't like it's messed up that they kind of did him dirty like that. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So I hope this ends up being true. I'd be all for it. Boyega's a good dude. I'd love to see his character continue in precisely the way that they're talking about it, pre movies and then after movies. I'm all about it. Hopefully, it ends up happening.
Yeah.
Something really quick here to mention is that Carl Weathers has confirmed or revealed that The Mandalorian season 3 will begin filming next month. Aha. So season 3 is going to be
Whoop,
filming
whoop.
next month.
That's
The
exciting.
In his quote, I'm going to quote something that he said. Uh Here we go. He says, "And so now we are going to start the new season of The Mandalorian in the next month, and I hope I get to be in front of the camera again and I get to direct again. So I hope you all stay out on the lookout for it, watch it and support it." So there's this quote. So as we know, he directed an episode last season for season 2. So he hopes to not only, be in the show again, but also like, direct another episode and all that stuff. So yeah, exciting. It's good to know that they're finally gonna start filming because I mean, like very recently they've like finished they've completed production or at least filming wise, not production, but like they've completed filming the Kenobi show and the Andor show. Those are both done filming. Like they're going in on post and all that stuff now. So that's cool. I'm glad they're starting or they will be starting next month Mando season 3 because we all know how great season 2 was and the way they ended that season has me very excited for what's next.
Mm.
Unfortunately, we don't have to wait too long because the book of Boba Fett is going to be dropping in December. So
That's
that's going to
right.
be fun.
Ooh.
We'll have that in December. We have Visions next month. So we still have some Star Wars coming up. Uh, Even though we have to wait for Mando season 3, we still have some good stuff coming.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very, very excited for that. Um, we have, so I didn't know this, but apparently, you know how they came out with the He-Man show, right? They're coming
Yep.
out with another one.
I didn't realize this till I
So
saw like
there's
this
a
article and I was like, what? Didn't this just
yeah,
happen?
there's a CG animated series, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Developed by there's a trailer in that article too, by the way. Produced by Mattel Television. So this one is different than the one that recently came out. That was the Kevin Smith one. Yeah, I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't I This one seems a little bit more like towards like geared towards like kids though, you know what I mean?
But yeah, this
Like
the style is
and the animation style and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot seems to like kind of, at least to me, it kind of looks that way.
It kind of looks Disney-esque.
Yeah, right. It looks kind of like, yeah, like something like that. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll be checking this out, but I mean, it's another option for people out there. I was aware that they had like multiple Masters of the Universe projects, like the show that just came out. They have a movie in development,
Mhm.
and yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll be checking this one out personally, but it's cool that there's options out there for people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a thing. It exists.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
another version
No, I
of
just mean like this doesn't interest me at all. So
yeah. It just yeah. Josh is not it doesn't really yeah.
my interest in it was like, oh, that sword looks cool, and yeah.
Yeah, it's just it just yeah, it's like they just have options right now, right? Like the one that just came out was for like, others and this is for the youngins right here, this one. So it's all good. It's fine. Um Majin in the chat asked me if What If is successful, do you think we'll get Star Wars Infinities? I would love that. I would be all for a Star Wars What If / Infinities because that used to be a comic. Star Wars Infinities used to be a comic uh back in the day. So like for example, if you guys have never heard of this, one of the what ifs was, what if Luke didn't blow up the Death Star on in A New Hope?
Mm.
And another one was, what if in Empire Strikes Back, Luke died on Hoth and he never made it to Dagobah, and Leia was the one that went to go train with Yoda. So it's like stuff like that, right? And then like for Return of the Jedi, I think it was like, what if Vader lived and turned back to the light side?
You know
So
that's funny.
it was like Vader, but like in an all white suit, like his black armor and everything. But it was that, but with all white, and he instead of having a red lightsaber, he had a blue lightsaber. Like it's crazy. Like
Hmm.
They've done that in like the video games. Do you remember when the episode 3 game came out? You could
I
play
do.
at the end, you
So
could swap at
so
the
the
end and you
Revenge
get
of
an
the
alternate
Sith
ending.
game, they
Hmm.
have you can play through the movie, right? It's a little bit different because they kind of change things up from the movie,
Yeah.
to make it a game or whatever. So like in the game, you can do things differently. Like instead of like Mace Windu fighting Palpatine right away, Anakin barges in and Mace and Anakin have a duel. But anyway, at the end of the game, when it all goes down to it, you play as Obi-Wan and you have to fight Anakin on Mustafar, and it goes exactly how the way the movie goes. But once you beat it, they give you an alternate level of that where you play as Anakin and you have to take down Obi-Wan. So what happens is when the fight plays out exactly the same, but at the end, when he's like, "Oh, Anakin, I have the high ground. It's over," right? A- Anakin jumps, Obi-Wan misses, Anakin stabs Obi-Wan in the back and kicks him into the lava, and he wins the duel. And then Palpatine arrives on Mustafar, and he's like, Lord Vader, because at that point Anakin is Vader, so he's like, Lord Vader, the galaxy is ours now. There's no one left to stop us, because we assume that Palpatine also killed Yoda then at that point. Because if Anakin takes down Obi-Wan, then Palpatine takes down Yoda. So Palpatine has like a bunch of like shock troopers with him, and he like hands Vader or Anakin his new red lightsaber, and Anakin grabs it, turns it on, he's like, no, or he like turns it on, he like swings it around and stabs Palpatine in the chest, and he's like, no, the galaxy is mine. So like that is like a crazy alternate universe where like Palpatine, Yoda, and Obi-Wan all die like in that time, and like
Hmm.
Anakin is like unscarred, like he looks like it's just him like taking over the galaxy with and he has a red lightsaber, and it's bonkers, like
I love
it's
shit
nuts.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Um,
then like the Force Unleashed had stuff
yeah, I was
too
fixing
that
to
was
bring
like
it up. They had
alternate
like some
the
DLC
universe. Yeah,
stuff, so some things like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
bonkers. So there's been stuff like that in Star Wars before, and I'd be all for it if they turned it into a show. I have so many ideas, man. Disney and Lucasfilm, if you're out there listening, I have many ideas for Star Wars what ifs. Just hit your boy up. I got a lot of plans and ideas for that.
I want my zombie
Yeah,
stormtroopers, god damn it.
yeah. The Death Troopers. Yeah, that was the
Hmm.
thing. Yeah. All right. Let's wrap up the TV news here with Westworld. Co-creator Lisa Joy promises new worlds in season 4. So I don't know, Alex, if you've ever seen Westworld or.
I haven't, but I've heard good things. Like a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think
people say that they
like
love it.
in my opinion, season 1 is probably the best one. There's like 3 out right now, but the other ones are all right. Like it's still a decent show. Um, so we're still waiting on season 4, and like they've done all kinds of crazy stuff for this, but in this interview, she says, "You're going to see some new worlds that I think are really fun, and you're going to see someone who I kidnapped from reminiscence in a funny way."
Mm.
Uh, so what she means by that is reminiscence. Reminiscence is a new movie that's coming out, and that is a movie that stars Hugh Jackman, Rebecca Ferguson, Cliff Curtis, Daniel Wu. So maybe we'll see one of those people in the next season because it already has Tandy Newton and Angela uh, Serafian, but they're already in Westworld, so it's like it's not gonna be them, obviously. But yeah, so that seems pretty interesting. I haven't. We actually haven't heard anything for Westworld in a hot minute. Like I forget when season
Nah,
3 came out, but it's been a while.
it's been a while. They always take a long time between seasons two. I remember it taking
Yeah.
a while before we got 3 and 2. But man, I loved Westworld because it's like a video game. Like watching the show is like a video game. It's like playing Red Dead, right? Like especially season one. Like
Mm.
if you haven't checked it out, definitely check out. I'm curious to see where we'll be going in the next season.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
then
even know
like
if they were going to continue or not.
yeah, season 2 had like Shogun World. It's like Japanese samurai, that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun.
It's cool.
Um, but yeah, we'll see what they have in store for season 4. Yes, 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 yes. All
My
right, that'll
dad
do it for the
liked
TV now.
the OG Westworld movie. He was a big
Oh,
fan.
the movie, yeah.
Yeah, from like fucking back in the day.
All right, so movie news. Let's hop in straight into that. This one, are you ready, Alex? Are you ready?
Yep. I'm so
We
ready.
have we have the release date for Fast and the Furious 10. Let's go.
Fasten
So
your
Fast and Furious
seatbelts.
10 has set April 2023 as its release date.
So like now, like I know Josh, Daniel, we were talking the other day about this. We're like, okay, well, we've gone to space. So
Yeah.
where can we possibly go now?
Yeah, I was like, well, if they've been to space, like what is the next thing they're gonna
We're
do?
going to Cybertron. We're getting Transformers.
Transformers.
Yeah. Well,
Where's
and
that crossover?
is Charlize Theron gonna be back? And is she gonna have a bowl cut again?
I mean, I would imagine I would imagine if she comes back, which I don't know if she is or not, that she probably won't have the bowl cut. They probably want to mix up her, her hairstyle there. But I mean, hey,
Maybe we'll get a mohawk or something instead.
yeah, the Mohawk Charlize. There you go.
Yeah.
So the penultimate film in the long-running Cars the Spies franchise will hit theaters on April 7th, 2023. Justin Lin will direct the 10th and 11th films in the Fast franchise,
Man.
which will be the conclusion of the core movies. Lin has directed 5 Fast films, beginning with 2006's The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Oh, the best one, obviously.
Of course, yeah, right, of course. Tokyo. Anyway, Vin Diesel and franchise regulars such as Sun Kang, Chris Ludacris Bridges, Jordana Brewster, Tyrese Gibson, Nathalie Emmanuel, and Michelle Rodriguez are all expected to return. The mid-credit scene from F9 suggested that Jason Statham's character will play some part too.
Mm-hmm.
The Fast franchise has been around since 2001 and has made $6.3 billion globally.
That's so much
With
fucking money, Jesus.
with that also includes the 2019 spin-off Hobbs and Shaw, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yes, because The Rock will no longer be in them because he and
I
Vin
heard that
Diesel
because
can't
he
get
and Vin Diesel
along.
have some kind of beef, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always heard about that, but I never knew why they had a beef. I was like, that's interesting that these two guys can't get
So
along or something.
weird.
I know. I feel like
I
they're
feel
just
like
both
The Rock
too
could get along with
alpha.
anybody though.
Mm.
Like it feels that way to me, but like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I don't understand where the story's gonna go. And the last one just felt so rushed. Like they really tried to cram so much stuff into one movie that I feel like we
Mm,
didn't get what we wanted from it. Like I
gotcha.
love Sung Kang. I was so excited for him to come back, but it was just they didn't do it
It
justice.
fell flat for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, maybe on the next one, you see, there's 2 more. They're doing 2 more at least, Alex. They're doing 2 more
Shit.
of the main.
Ugh, they
They've
got
made
time to redeem
Scrooge
themselves.
McDuck money off this stuff, this franchise. You could
Yeah.
you could swim in a vault of gold coins with as much money as they've made off this fucking shit.
Well, that's why
Yeah,
I'm
they really
surprised
have.
that they're even gonna stop. Like, they could keep going forever and just keep beating the dead horse, but they decided to stop.
Yeah.
So they
I
can
mean, they're.
reboot it. at some
Yeah.
I mean,
point.
what they probably would do, they're probably just gonna do more spin-offs then at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Now all
They're
these
like, oh,
characters you've met over 11 films, they're all
Yeah.
getting
yeah.
spin-offs.
Hmm.
I honestly think they should have just stopped it after, like, was it 7? Whenever Paul Walker passed away, they should have just stopped. That should have been the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, they're keeping it moving at least for a couple more. So we'll see. We'll see. We have some Marvel news here. Quite a bit of it actually. First off, let's start off with they have a new poster and trailer for Marvel's Eternals. So they will get that thrown up here. So the new poster has
Let's show off the poster
all
first.
of the main Eternals characters, which is a lot of them. There's a lot of these people's. There's the poster and here's the trailer. There you go.
That's a pretty
Ooh.
cool poster.
So the poster has all of your main characters. You got Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie and Richard Madden and Gemma Chan, Kumail Nanjiani. So you got everybody on here, Brian Tyree Henry, like all your main Eternals are on the cover, and they got all the names at the top too. So Kit Harington is going to be in this as well. So that's your poster. That's your poster, and the trailer. We have the trailer. If you want to
I'm
throw
gonna
that up
I'm gonna
there.
play the trailer, guys. I'm gonna play it with no sound, because I know we have some people in the chat that are like, I don't want to watch the trailer. So I'm gonna play the trailer one time through, no sound, and then I'll say the trailer's over and you can look back. Because I know there's some people out there that are just hanging out and don't want to watch this. So we're gonna play the trailer right now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna flop over, look away, and you can or close your eyes, and I'll let you know when it's over.
There's your warning.
So it's play.
So
Um,
I actually did a trailer reaction to this on my YouTube channel. Go check that out. But I don't know a whole lot about these characters to begin with. So I with each trailer that we've seen and every other new thing that we've been seeing from this stuff, I've been learning a little bit more and more here and there. Because again, I don't even know like the names of these characters really, like fully. I just know that this stuff looks cool. We're dealing with like celestials and like
mhm.
uh you know big like what's the word I'm looking for? Like cosmic level type stuff here. Um and the fact that these guys didn't show up during Thanos and during all this other shit that's happened, is gonna be interesting to see why they only show up when, well basically now, right? So
Yeah.
the visuals for this look crazy. Like that creature or that whatever that thing is at like 116 looks fucking crazy. Um, I'm liking some of the like powers and abilities we have here. Like Richard Madden's character reminds me of like a Kryptonian or like a Superman type character.
Yeah.
So that's cool to have something like that in Marvel, because we don't really have that. Um, so yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Some of the CG looks a little weird to me, like that creature at like the 2-minute 20 mark. That dude looks a little weird, the CG, but like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Most of the power stuff they show off looks pretty good, but like the
Yeah.
when they show like anything that's like super CG, like in creatures, monsters, what have you, it always looks a little
That looks a
like what
little
they
weird.
just the thing with the bus they just showed that looked great, you know. But like yeah,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah, so I mean, I'll definitely be checking this out because it's Marvel, but like, yeah, I just, it's one of those things where like I'm gonna be like most people and just learning a lot about this, because
Mm-hmm.
same.
I just don't. I'm not super familiar with these characters, so I'm excited to learn more about them.
Yep, the characters I don't know shit about,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
something we've said so many times on the show that
Yeah.
we love. I love learning new characters,
Yeah,
Um,
because a lot of the other Marvel, like a lot of the other comic stuff and yeah, DC or like Marvel, whatever. Like I know a lot about stuff, but like still, we're getting into territory now with Marvel where I'm like, there's some of the stuff I just don't know about, So
Mhm.
it's exciting because we get to learn. But
yeah. The trailer's
yeah,
over, guys, so you can look back at the screen now or open your eyes or whatever. Like, I know there's some people only need the teaser and then this like that's all I need. You know,
yeah, yeah.
um, that's how I felt for. I'm not watching any more like Shang-Chi stuff. So
Gotcha. I mean, that movie's out like a couple weeks anyway.
yeah.
Alrighty then. Moving on to other things, still Marvel though. This one is kind of a little bit of a Captain Obvious kind of news, but Anthony
Mhm.
Mackie has signed on to be Captain America for Captain America 4.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope. Um, I mean, again, it's this one's a little bit more of like a little bit of a Captain Obvious type deal because we knew it was happening.
Mhm.
Like, how could you not have this movie and not have him be in it? But um, it's just it's just confirmation that it's happening. So that's all
Yeah.
really that is. They have the same people that were working on the Falcon Winter Soldier show to be on board with this. So yeah, it'll be it'll be good. I think I enjoyed Falcon Winter Soldier.
Uh, to talk about Anthony Mackie for a second, I've watched a reaction to Million Dollar Baby the other day. Somebody was watching that movie
Mhm.
for the first time. He's in that
Yeah.
movie with Michael Pena. Their
Hmm.
characters are friends. They're both douchebags in the gym. I looked over and I was like, "Wait a minute! I know those guys." I wasn't expecting it at all. Just
That's
random
funny.
tangent that I saw
It's
randomly.
funny how like you watch something for the first time and then like you don't like and then you like look back at it years later and you recognize somebody from like, oh, that's
Yeah,
that one, that's the I forgot, I didn't know he was in this,
Mhm.
because at the time you're like, I don't know who he was, or I didn't, you just didn't
he's just a
recognize him
random
or whatever.
person, just a random
Yeah.
like guy.
Yeah, you look back at it now and you're like, hey, that's who that is.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, we have some Black Panther 2 news. Uh we have Ironheart will debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So Ironheart is like basically like teenage girl Iron Man, basically, for those who don't
Oh.
know. So I think she's more of like a recent character, I think, like within like yeah, so she's a fairly new character in the comics, only been around since 2016. Um but she's gonna be making her debut here in Black Panther 2. Makes sense. I think the way that they're gonna do this, in my opinion, her name is Riri Williams. Yeah, yep. So the actress is Dominique Thorne. Uh, she was announced back in the Disney Investor Day in December that she would be Riri Williams. I think in what show was it? It was gonna be in I think her own show or forget where, but anyway, they announced that she was gonna be playing this character. But she's now gonna be making her debut in Black Panther 2, so that's pretty dope. And I think the way that they're gonna do it in the movie is like, I don't know if you guys remember, but like at the end of Black Panther, they kind of had like a Wakanda like outreach program or something like that. Remember
Mhm.
that they kind of set up?
Mm.
So I would imagine that's kind of how she gets involved in this. So that'll be cool. Um, but yeah, it'll be cool just to see a different different type of Iron Warrior in
Mhm.
the MCU. Now that Tony's not around, and you know, definitely definitely be cool. The
Mhm.
future of the MCU is shaping up here with all these recent projects. The last thing that I have here is that um there's a Black Canary movie in the works. Now we're switching over to DC now. There's a Black Canary movie in the
Mhm.
works over at HBO Max from Misha Green and Journey Smollett. We're going to be returning. So Black Canary was in that Birds of Prey movie. Um, which like I watched it and like I wasn't like I was like, all right, it's fine, but it wasn't like my favorite thing. Um uh so they're doing a movie off of her character, like a spin-off type deal. Her character was pretty cool in that movie though. She played Dinah Lance, aka the Black Canary. Um she was kind of like depicted as a burlesque singer in that movie. Um who I'm not I was gonna say spoilers from the movie, but never mind. But anyway, yeah, her character was cool in that. They're doing a spin-off movie for her, which I think is pretty cool. Um, we'll see how that works. They're doing actually a lot of like spin-off DC movies. Like they're doing like Batgirl and Supergirl and like now they're doing Black Canary. I know they're doing Blue Beetle, which I'm very excited for. Blue Beetle. That's like probably like up near the top for me. I'm excited. Give me my Latino superheroes, man. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Uh, but yeah, Black Canary movie is in the works as well. Which is pretty cool because, like I said, Misha Green and Journey are pretty tight, pretty close friends. So that'll be dope. We'll see what happens with that. Who they cast for that? What other characters they include for this particular story? Yeah,
All right, that's cool.
that'll do it. That'll do it for our news.
We did it. We
We
made
did
it.
it.
Mm.
Yeah.
We
And
made it
that's
to
the first part right there.
it's the first part of the show.
Yeah, we
Uh,
still we're
we got a good chunk of news.
we're gonna take a break here and then we'll come back for the main topic, which we have Alex here for, which is we're gonna talk some
Yeah,
music. We're gonna talk some music.
absolutely.
So we're gonna let's
I'm
go
gonna put some
ahead and
music on for you guys.
take that break real quick.
Some dark fantasy studio
Dark
music.
Fanny, oh my.
I'm just full of can't talk today. We're gonna rock it. I'm obsessed with fannies and pants. Apparently.
Yeah.
We're gonna play some music, and we'll be right back
some would say
after
that's
the show.
understandable, all right? It's all good.
Yeah, we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
BRB, fellers.
And I almost hit the wrong button. We're live. We're back. Hi.
Hello,
Greetings.
everyone. We're returned. We're here. We're
I
ready
almost
talk
went to
some
the
music.
two-way talk, which would have been bad because it would have just been a blank screen with nobody there.
Oh,
Hello? Hello?
it's okay. It's okay. We're here. We're here. All right.
Yeah, we're here, guys. We're all fine here now. How are you?
Everything's fine here. How are you? All right. Let's go. So,
Hope everybody enjoyed their break.
for those of you listening to this on Spotify or YouTube, you won't even know those breaks, so don't worry about it.
That's true. But you should get up and stretch your legs. Don't want those blood
Mhm.
clots.
True.
I am wearing compression socks, don't want those blood clots.
Mm.
I'm a very health when I stream, I'm very health conscious. I take a break every 2 hours. I get up, walk around, do some squats.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to live to I don't know. I don't want to live to like 80, but I'd like to live a little while.
Drink that water, take care of yourself.
Drink the water. I'm out. But, I should have grabbed some more, but yeah, we're in the second half of the show where we're gonna talk with Alex about music, some Twitch stuff that's on here that we want to talk about.
She has a video to show us. Like it's gonna be good stuff, man.
I just can't wait to get your reaction.
Oh, I mean, listen, it's so for those of you out there listening or watching, like we've had this like she's had this video in our like little chat here for like how long?
Like a week?
Yeah, I want to say like almost a week. And I have resisted watching it because we got to do it live. We got to do it like today. Like I wasn't going to watch it earlier. There was going to be none of that. We're going to watch it today. So
I saw like the first like half a second of it when I was just setting it up so that we could see it on stream. It looks great. So when we hop into it and see the whole thing, it's gonna be awesome.
I have to give you a backstory of it. You could either watch it first and I can give you the backstory after. It's up to
I
you.
mean, since we're all talking about it, we might as well watch it
We
now,
want to
right?
watch it
I mean,
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
let's do it now.
All
Let's do it
right.
now.
Let me set it
So how do
up
we
over
do this?
here.
Do we watch the video first and then she gives the story, or do we want her to set it up and then we watch it?
Whatever you think.
I don't know. I feel like
Hmm.
you should just watch it first because you'll probably be like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay, that's what we'll do then. We'll just watch it and then we can talk about it
All
afterwards.
right. I'm gonna transition
That sounds
over,
good.
and I got the video queued up.
All right, let me pull it up on the Discord. There it is. All right, let me know when we're gonna press play, dude.
Let me adjust this over a little bit. No, actually, it's centered. All right. Make sure you can see. Okay, we're gonna press play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, there's like a point of this. So
Oh, that's so good.
like the let's see what mark is it? Hold on, I gotta rewind this. Hold on.
Oh my god.
I like the 17-minute or 17-second mark. Hey, that's amazing. That's so good. What the fuck?
There is so much happening in this that I just thought it was
Oh
hilarious that
yeah,
you guys
and then
just
there's like dudes without shirts on. I'm like, what?
the guy without a shirt in the background with the suspenders on, that was the groom. This was at their
Okay,
wedding.
Okay.
so I see there's him, and then there's like a dude who has like a and there's okay, so there's another dude behind him with nothing but suspenders on as
Yeah.
well.
So that must be one of the groomsmen also. And then
Okay,
if you go forward a little bit from that point, there's a girl with like and she's like got her arm up. She's like fist pumping and that was the bride.
okay,
Like there was a lot. There was a lot happening here
that's
as you skim through
good
it.
stuff. Looks like you guys had a great time though. That's awesome.
So this was my friend's wedding. And her brother DJs like all the weddings basically because he owns like a media company.
Mhm.
And so the whole like backstory I guess that started is I went to school with these girls. So we all went to dental hygiene school together, and all of these girls they love country music. They're all hardcore country music, like that's their jam. They will get in the car, turn country on, like country is what gets them partying.
Yeah,
That's their thing. And then there's me. So there's a group of 6 of us, and I am definitely the odd one out. I don't like country music. It's not my jam. You will never catch me turning country music on in the car. That's never gonna happen. And so when we were in like first year dental hygiene, we were at this party and it was just the girls in our class, and our class was 26 girls. So there's no guys in our class, and we had this party, and me and one other girl like rap music. And somebody turned on
hey.
King Kunta, and the two of us just went like buck wild. We were both just like jamming, vibing to this, and everyone just like stared at us. Who are these girls and why do they know all the words to this? Like, why is this their jam? So every time we would go home, because all these girls live in different towns. So we would go and we'd see everyone's hometown, like in our as our group of friends. And every
Yeah.
time we would meet like the families of my friends, they would make me rap King Kunta in front of them because they
What?
just thought it was
Yo.
hilarious.
Wow, that's crazy.
At at every wedding so far that's happened in this group of girls, everyone has
Yeah.
played it at their wedding. And so I just assumed that it was gonna happen, whatever. But then I was just like, okay, yeah, I want to listen to it. I want to, sing it with my friends. And then one of the girls, the girl that was beside me on the chair, dragged up a chair and was like, "You need to stand on this." So I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm standing on the chair. And then the bride goes and gets the microphone from her brother at the DJ booth and brings it to me. And I wish I had the video of her. She's so cute. And she just walks up with the microphone and just hands it to me.
That's amazing. Yeah, because I did notice you were like standing on something. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's funny, man. That's a wow. Like every wedding you go to now with that group, it's like you gotta play that one song, and Alex got to be up there, getting the people hype and wild and whatnot. That's funny, man.
I gotta bring the hip hop to the party
Yeah,
because no one else
exactly.
wants it
Because
there.
otherwise they're gonna be listening to like fucking Tim McGraw or whatever the hell, right?
My big green
Yeah,
tractor.
yeah,
Uh,
Exactly.
mhm.
yeah. That's funny, man. That's actually that's pretty cool though. Also, like that's yeah.
It's funny too because a lot of them, like, you can kinda see, like, in the video, a lot of them were, like, did know the words because they've heard it so many times.
Because you've heard it enough times now, yeah.
Yeah. So it's yeah, it's really funny, like, just how different that friend group is from me, but I'm
Mhm.
still
But you're still like all friends, yeah. That's
yeah,
that's cool, yeah. Yeah, that,
and
that is
that's
that
just
is
very I was like, "I
yeah.
know that, Daniel, you'll definitely get a kick out of
Oh
that
yeah.
one."
I mean, listen, like Kendrick is from a place out here, Compton, and I'm only like a few cities away from that. So it's like, where I know where that is. I've been there. Like that's yeah, Kendrick is the dude. K Dot is that dude, man. I've been on K Dot for like I want to say like 10 years now. Like I've
Mhm.
known about him. Like I've listened to his stuff for that long now. Yeah, I remember like when high power and like that all like that era of his stuff was coming out. Then you got like his mixtapes and all that other shit. Like yeah, I've been listening to K Dot for years. Like it's my musical taste is very it's a wide variety. Like I listen to a lot of different things. Like I can fuck with a lot of different stuff. It's I just like to me if it just like sounds good, then I'll listen to it. Like I don't it is
Mhm.
what it is. And we have Letty again showing up for the music part. I wonder. So here's a question. When you like blast on like when you like play music or like blast music or something, does Letty respond to anything in particular? Or she's just like whatever, like it's like it's just noise.
There's this sounds kind of funny, I guess, but I really like Japanese trap beats. Like
Mm,
that's like my go-to like study music.
okay.
And she gets really like stressed with that. She does not
Oh,
like
really?
the Japanese trap music. She's not into it. But other than that, no, she's pretty like chill, I think. Cuz where I'm also the same as you, Daniel, where I pretty much listen to everything. Like like you said, as long as it sounds good, I like it. And
Yeah.
we'll go from like metal music, like screamo, to like I don't know, like you could have Ariana Grande on or something.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like I was gonna like, there's a meme out there where it's like my Spotify playlist be like, and then like, hold on, I'll get you a meme of what I mean. Maybe so I'll post this here, and then maybe Josh, you can like throw it up or whatever. But like, that's my Spotify playlist. Like that's part of it. You got like, there's more to it obviously because there's a bunch more, but like literally like that's how it be. Here's another one. Watch. Hold up. They're just like meme images, but like that's literally how it is. Like you'll go from like fucking like Ice Cube to like fucking like there you go. Like so the picture that Josh just put up right now, right?
Yeah.
This is Tupac and Chalino Sanchez, which two very different types of music. So Tupac obviously West Coast, rap 90s type deal. Chalino Sanchez is a for those who are not aware, he is a like Mexican corrido he would like often his songs would often be about like the cartel and like all that like kind of crazy shit going on down there. So it's just very different types of music, like it's just funny how like you could go like your playlist, like you said, you could go from like you know, Kendrick to like fucking Metallica, or like, fucking like, like Japanese like city pop, or like, like for me, I recently made a like I make playlists on Spotify like from time to time. So
Mm-hmm.
like one of the most recent ones that I did was like a sea shanty slash like pirate sailing music type playlist, like I'd be doing all kinds of crazy shit like that, right? Like I like here's just a playlist of like a bunch of songs that I'll listen to because I listen to so many different types of music.
Well, even
Like,
like
oh
Bushes of
yeah,
Love, like, oh yeah, turn
yeah,
that on. I'll jam to
yeah.
that.
Bushes of Love, which is like a fucking it's a like a bad lip reading, like, you know parody song that is a fucking it's a jam. It's a slapper, as the kids would say. It's a bop. You know. Like it's even silly shit like that, you know what I mean? So it's music is just a beautiful thing, man. Like it's there's so many different sounds, and like just a variety of many different things that come together, and like other things take influence from things that came before it, and to push other stuff forward. Like it's crazy. Like just it's insane. I mentioned earlier how I was watching or I watched the Biggie documentary on Netflix.
Mhm.
They were talking about how like Biggie's favorite rapper was like Big Daddy Kane and stuff, and like how at the time it was like Big Daddy Kane and like Rakim, and like several other people that had kind of like the same style. But then Biggie came in here and started like he started like going like beyond that with like his flows and rhymes and stuff, and like it was really cool. Like again, I recommend that. It's called Biggie, I Got a Story to Tell on Netflix. But anyway, um,
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
yeah, it's pretty great. So yeah, yeah, going back to like Spotify, I got like a ton of Spotify playlists. I got like I made like a Star Wars playlist that's all Star Wars music. Like I have like the music from all the movies and all the the shows and the games and like the Mandalorian and like everything. Like it's like all in one playlist. So like if you ever want to listen to Star Wars music, I made a playlist. You can listen to it all. It's all there. So
Yeah, I love that.
yeah, it's pretty dope. And then yeah, like just even like certain like like Disney songs, right? Like you'll jam out to. Like some stuff is just like that good. It's just
Mhm.
like
Totally.
like it really doesn't matter. Like again, like we were just saying, if it sounds good, like it's good. You know what I mean? Like,
Like,
but anyway.
there's a High School Musical song that I will fucking jam out to. Like, it just gets me pumped. Or like another funny one is like Wild Wild West by Will Smith. Like, I
Oh yeah,
love
yeah,
that
yeah. I remember
song.
you talking about that one. Yeah.
And he sampled that from um oh, why can't I think of what it is? He sampled that song, and I remember being at the bar one time, and they played it. They played Wild Wild West, and I was like, "No, it's gonna be like the original," and it wasn't. And someone actually played that song at the bar. I'm like, "No, there's no way. This is
Wow,
real life."
that's amazing. That's pretty
Just
funny.
all over the place.
Yeah, that's just how it be, right?
Yeah.
So we watched your video. That was pretty good. So here's the thing, since we're on this, do you guys ever like when you find out, like I'm the kind of person where like if I find a song that I really like that's like new to me, I will put that shit on repeat until it gets old. Like I will
Yep.
replay that same fucking song over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like I will play the shit out of a song when if I really like it, once I find out about it.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
do that for sure.
Yeah,
And like
it's
sometimes like I remember having like I don't know, some song is like my ringtone. But now whenever I hear that song, it like triggers me to think it's my alarm or something going off.
that's yeah, that could be another thing that happens too. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. It's like, oh shit, where's my phone?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I am definitely that way. It's dangerous.
Yeah, it is because like it's like, man, this song's so great. I want to listen to it like more than you know. But then you listen to it like so damn much that it's like, man, I'd be overplaying the shit out of it, you know.
Mhm.
But it's just like that good. Like you feel the need. Like it just like it's just funny how like it doesn't get old to you after like it takes a while for that to happen. Like you can just like literally play it and then replay it again and then just keep on replaying it. Like it's fucking crazy.
But, like, I'm the type of person and that I can't listen to the radio. Like,
Mm,
if I listen to the radio, it's, like, because my Bluetooth isn't working in my car or something.
gotcha.
Because I don't know
Like
what it is about just, like I feel like the radio plays the songs too many times where I don't like them anymore.
yeah, the radio has a tendency of doing that. And then there's like, they have a ton of ads and all kinds of other shit. It's like, I don't want to
Mhm.
listen to all that, dude. Like get that out of here. And then it's like, you could be waiting for them to play one song, but then it's like, here's this other song you don't like, but it's still popular, so we're gonna play it anyway.
Mhm.
And it's like, fuck off. I don't want to listen to that bullshit. Get that out of here, man. Man. Yeah, so that I get that with the radio, yeah. I used to listen to the radio a lot more back in the day, but I don't really do it nowadays. It's like, nah, I don't need it,
I don't
I don't
remember
need
the
it.
last time I listened to the radio. To
Yeah,
be honest with you.
it's the same,
Uh,
I promise. It has not changed.
It's like, oh, there's nothing new. It's just the same old bullshit.
Yeah.
I was looking through some of my favorites on YouTube and on Spotify, and I was like, what was the last thing I listened to on repeat a lot? And it was like, there's a song from The Witcher 3 called Silver
Mm.
for Monsters, and there's a live orchestra version of that. And I
Ah,
watched that shit on repeat like a billion times because that's like my musical taste stuff is like
Mhm.
I love scores
yeah.
from video games and for like movie soundtracks
Yeah, I
and
mean,
shit like
I
that stuff.
going back to the Spotify playlist thing, I have a Spotify playlist simply for scores and soundtracks and games, movies, and TV shows. Like I throw them all in there, and that's like
Hmm.
whenever I feel like listening to like the Avengers theme or like John Williams' Superman theme or Jurassic Park or like fucking the Red Dead soundtrack. It's like it's all in there, so I can
The
I can
house
listen to
building
that shit
song.
whenever. Oh, dude,
Hmm.
House Building Song is a legit banger. Like I was so upset when they first came out with the Red Dead soundtrack and they did not have house building theme. They recently came out with it like a couple years later, and I was like, about damn time. But when they first released the soundtrack, I was very upset that house building theme was not on there.
Okay, I gotta look this up because I don't even know what it is.
Oh my god, it's a song from Red Dead 2. It's in the story, and it happens at a certain point in the game where like a lot of shit has happened by that point. But you
Yeah.
have a moment here where it's just you and like like I think it's like a couple other friends or maybe like one other guy, and you're just like setting up your new life and you're building your home, man. You're just and like I've never been more excited to do work than listening to that fucking song. Like that song
Yeah.
will make you want to build a house with how hype that shit
Yes.
is. It
Yes.
is
Yes, it
fucking
does. It gets you.
it is a great tune, man. I love house
It
building
hits
I
you.
song.
gotta I gotta add that to my study playlist. Like I will jam to that while I'm doing
And
notes.
Hell
and
yeah.
as it's playing, there's a montage playing of them building this
Yeah.
house and like
Of them
having
building
this
the
moment
house.
and like time's
It's such a
passing.
it's one of my favorite moments in that game. It's so
Oh,
good.
absolutely, I love it.
It sounds wholesome for that game.
It is like it really is a wholesome moment in that game. Like it's one of my favorite moments in that game. Like it's fantastic. I'm gonna link you guys a Spotify link in the chat for those of you watching live. There it is. That's the song I'm
Hell
talking about.
yeah. Well, and that reminds me actually, just thinking about like scores and stuff.
Hmm.
A few years ago, actually, we went with Cole and Hannah to we went to the Harry Potter orchestra. So
Oh,
they
okay.
had the orchestra and they played the movie in the back, and the orchestra played all the music. So they did
That's
like
great.
all the sound effects, all the songs. It was so cool.
I've always wanted to go to something like that, but I never have. I've always wanted to. Like they usually have like John Williams will come out here and he'll do like all his stuff too. And like I've always it'd be so good to be able to get to do that someday, but I haven't been had the chance to.
I always wanted to go to Video Games Live, the where they do like they have the big screen and it's playing like the video game montages, and they just go through all these different songs from all these different video games playing because
Well, and
it's
they're
just
doing an
dope.
anime one in Calgary right away here. That's
Oh,
what my friends are going to, and apparently that's gonna be really cool. They're gonna do like all the anime themes.
dun, 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 dun. That'd be cool. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a Cowboy Bebop, by the way, for anybody wondering. But yeah, that'd be yeah, yeah. Again, I've always wanted to go to something like that, but I haven't had the chance to. It'd be great, you know.
Let's jam.
Um, it'd be really really cool. So since we're on the topic of scores and soundtrack, let's talk about like that for a little bit. So do you guys like what are some of your favorite like scores and like soundtracks and like either it could be either a movie or a game or a TV show, whatever. Like what like
Mortal Kombat. It's easy because we just watched the remake not that long ago, and they
yeah.
kind of had like a new-ish version in it, and I love the classic version from the old movie.
Hmm.
But that one immediately springs to my fucking mind, and you still hear it to this day. People play that shit,
Yeah.
uh, and I love it so much, you know. So that's one of mine that pops into my head.
Yeah.
I can think of
Um,
like 2.
Oh,
Like
okay.
overall, I just love like the Zelda scores. So like Ocarina of
Mm.
Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, and Breath of the Wild. And Twilight Princess had like some pretty cool soundtracks. So a lot of the time I'll just listen to like mashups of those ones.
Mhm.
And honestly, the Fast and Furious soundtracks are usually
Oh,
straight
really?
bangers.
Cool. I don't think I've actually like listened to them, so I'm not even sure what's on there. But I mean, hey, if they're good, they're good, you know.
They got a lot of songs in Spanish. Like they're
Oh man.
and actually as Hannah said, Cruella, I thought Cruella was gonna be a shit ass movie. When I watched it, I was like, nope, I don't expect anything from this. And the soundtrack was amazing. Like one of my favorite songs is actually Time of the Season by the Zombies, which
Oh
again is so random, but
yeah.
and it's in that movie.
So I haven't. Yeah. Oh, Umbrella Academy is great. Yeah.
mhm.
I was jamming out to what was it that Kiss song that they use in season 2, I think. That was a good one. But I was gonna say about Cruella. I haven't actually seen Cruella. I need to check it out. That's one of the ones that I haven't. One of the more recent Disney movies that I haven't seen yet. So I gotta check that out. And then now that you guys are talking about how good the soundtrack is, and that makes me want to watch it even more. So I have to check that out for sure. But yeah, like soundtracks for me, there's oh man, there's so much good, so many good scores and soundtracks out there. Like man, like where do we even start? Like fucking, Howard Shore with the Lord of the Rings stuff is amazing.
Yep.
I was gonna ask if you guys were gonna pick Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mean that one
Yeah.
is one of my favorites for sure. Like when you like there's too many good songs to choose, but like, the Breaking of the Fellowship is a good one. Like Battle of Pelennor Fields, those are some like I mean uh like one of my favorites is the Spider-Man theme from the Tobey Maguire movies, like the theme. So those are great. Um the Raiders March from Indiana Jones, like the theme from Superman, also John Williams, like Flight from Man of Steel, Hans Zimmer, incredible. Game of Thrones has a really good soundtrack. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a good one. There's a
They
lot of good
also
ones
did
in
some
there.
like, was it The Weeknd and SZA and Kendrick did a Game of Thrones song or something?
Did they? Huh.
It might just be The Weeknd and
Oh,
SZA. The Weeknd, SZA, and Travis Scott.
Mm. Okay. But yeah, then there's like the LA Noir soundtrack is pretty
oh my
fucking
god.
good.
Mass Effect soundtrack.
Yeah, Mass Effect, which I recently played those games in the past few months, and they're
Leaving
amazing.
Earth in particular hits me.
Yeah, like
Eh,
you know, um
Honestly, you're
the
gonna laugh at me when I say this. The fucking like Battlefield theme, the do 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 when that shit fucking plays, I get hype. I get a little hype inside. I'll be honest with you, like especially like the Bad Company versions of it. Um, like the whole little theme that they play, the do 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 do, like the fucking theme for uh Battlefield games. I love. Um,
the yeah, there's so many good ones. Like Jojo Rabbit, like the way that they use like songs that like for example, like the Beatles song, and it's like in German, or like the David Bowie song that's in German. Like that's pretty dope, man. Like I like the way they do that. Ghost of Tsushima soundtrack, fucking incredible.
oh,
Love it.
so good.
Cyberpunk, we were talking about Cyberpunk earlier. Some of the songs in that are pretty great. Like they got like
Mhm.
you know they made like music like for that game, and I thought it was like really really cool that they got like actual people, and they're like, oh, here's this person in the universe that made this song, but they're actually a real person in real life. I was like, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
The
Yeah.
Doom remake soundtrack, Rip and Tear, all that
Yeah,
shit is
Mhm.
fantastic. And like I
like
put that shit on when I want to feel like a fucking badass.
dude, the
Like
Pirates of
like
the Caribbean stuff is great. I love that shit.
if you put
Dude,
on Rip and
Transformers the
Tear,
movie. Fucking
uh-huh.
Transformers the movie gets me hype every time, dude. You got the touch, you got Dare, you got the main theme. That shit gets me hype, dude. It's so good. Fucking 80s music, dude. I love that shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess then 80s music really you could say like Ready Player One. The soundtrack was really good for that.
mm. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, like there's just so many good soundtracks out there. Alan Silvestri's Avengers theme is phenomenal. The God of War theme from Bear McCreary is great. Like, oh man, we could go on and on about how much good stuff is out
Tron
there.
Legacy's entire soundtrack
Oh,
is
dude, yeah, Daft Punk Tron Legacy. Yeah, that's oh man.
I had to
D-Res is
mention
one of
that
my
one.
one of my favorite things, dude. Yeah.
Mhm.
Shit, I mean, what's his name? Ludwig Göransson with The Mandalorian. Like he killed it, dude, with that music.
Mhm.
And it's so different from like traditional Star Wars music, but it works so well for that show. Like it's
Mhm.
bonkers.
I can hear it in my head.
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, Daft Punk Sadness. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll always have their other music.
Mhm.
Yeah. One I'm gonna mention is because it gets stuck in my head a lot. Assassin's Creed Ezio's fucking theme that plays. Uh,
Mm.
so it's Assassin's Creed 2, I guess is Ezio, right?
Assassin's
Like
Creed 2,
so.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's so many now. I get them all mixed up. Um, but the
Yeah.
theme
Well, for
that
him,
plays
yeah.
for him. But yeah, I couldn't remember if he came in 2. It is 2. That's right. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I love his theme. Uh,
Yeah. 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 But yeah, anyway, there's a lot of good scores and soundtracks out there. Some of the stuff we named off are some of our favorites. There's a lot more that we
yeah.
haven't mentioned,
Oh
but
god, so much.
there's so much to talk about. How do you guys feel about, since we're on the topic of movies and games and TV shows? How do you guys feel about the way that like certain music is utilized in for example, like I was just watching What If, right? Marvel's What If, and at the
Mhm.
end of episode 2, they use like uh a particular song at the end of the movie um that I thought fit in like really well. It was like a very like um it was like a small thing, but like it fit in so well. Like it was the song called, it was a Space Age love song from A Flock of Seagulls, and it fit in
Hmm.
so well at the end of the episode, in my opinion, that I'll like just the way that they insert music into like certain scenes of things, like
Mhm.
how do you guys feel about like that? Like what are some of your favorite instances of things like that happening? Like where they'll just insert like a I don't know, a particular song that you like, or something into like a movie or a show, or whatever.
Trying to think of like a specific example, but I really just I like how in like Guardians of the Galaxy, I think they do a really good job of like inserting music into the like actual songs. and just having like those montages kind of. And then it
Mhm.
kind of gives you that like visual memory and you like relate that to the movie. Like if I hear a certain song, I can like picture Star-Lord dancing. Or even just like when they put stuff into movies that are just like ominous music or something. Like it changes the whole feel of a scene or of a movie.
Yeah, like Hannah in the chat mentions like the opening credits of like Black Widow. There was a cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit,"
Hmm.
which when I first watched it, I was like, "This seems kind of weird," but then I was like, "Well, that makes sense for what this movie is and whatnot." Yeah, yeah,
I
like the
still haven't
Guardians
Um,
seen Black
soundtracks
Widow.
have good music. Yeah.
uh,
Oh,
you're gonna laugh, but the movie I want to name has such a great soundtrack. But the song on
what
it,
is
the
it?
one that I'm thinking of, is Forrest Gump.
Hmm.
Fortunate Son when they're flying in the fucking helicopter.
Oh yeah, I
And
mean
it's
that's
playing. I'm like that just fits so. I mean, it's
yeah. I
obviously it
mean,
fits perfectly.
Fortunate
It's for
Son,
that, but
Fortune
like,
CCR is like Vietnam all the
and
way, dude. Like all
Yeah.
also
that.
Sweet Home Alabama plays in that movie, which is perfect. Like that whole soundtrack. Forrest Gump had a killer soundtrack, guys. Like it sounds ridiculous, but it's true.
Well, you know what they
Like
say, Josh. Laugh is like a box of chocolates.
yes, uh, but yeah, that one just hangs out in my head a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, God, I haven't seen Forrest Gump in a
Yeah.
while. Yes, Maja, me
Yeah, right.
too.
Imagine, like, literally, like any movie you have Vietnam in or like helicopters and shit, you gotta have CCR on, dude, or else like it doesn't
Not
count.
even just the movies. Fucking when Battlefield Vietnam came out, you could have there was a radio in the fucking game when you were in helicopters, and you could play like "Bird is the Word" and like CCR or any of that, like all that shit that would be playing
That
if you
bird
were in
is the
Vietnam.
word song, man. I There was a meme that I posted on my Discord where it's like you go to the 7-Eleven at night and then there's a crackhead in the fucking parking lot and then it was just the dude singing the "Da ma ma, oh ma ma, oh ma, oh ma," and then he starts like going crazy and shit and then like that word is that word. That shit that fucking had me dying, dude. Yeah.
I'll still randomly break out sometimes and just be like, "Ooh, meow, 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 ooh, meow, meow,
Oh
meow,
my, oh
meow,"
my, oh
like
my, oh my,
and just
my.
sitting in
So,
Discord for
so
no reason and do it.
yeah, yeah, like it's just like that doesn't make like any sense, but you just like so
Yeah,
yeah, it's just funny how like sometimes we're sitting around in music and somebody could mention something and I'll be like, and I'll just start like, oh, it's you know, it reminds me of like a song, like like I always get reminded of music from like a word or two that people can say. It's kind of weird
Mhm.
and funny how that works.
like I think of
Um,
American Graffiti a lot when I hear that song or the Family Guy bit. Everybody gets it from the Family Guy
yeah, the
bit.
the
Oh my
Family
Get
Guy
it
one
from
is
god.
the
America.
most.
I
Yeah,
get it from American Graffiti. That's where I heard it first.
yeah.
My dad loved that movie.
So like, yeah, "Bird is the word." That's like a what, like a '60s song or something like that.
God damn, I don't even know.
It's
Good
an older
question.
song. So like, let's talk a little bit about like genres and like what music by like the era. Like, do you guys like tend to listen to like older music or nah? Or is it just more like I don't know. Like, cause what I mean by that is like I will listen to music from like forever ago. Like I have shit in my playlist that's like from as old as like fucking I have stuff from the 20s, from the 30s, from the 40s. I got shit from like forever ago. Like
No,
when I
I'll listen to
mean
stuff.
that
Yeah.
I listen to all kinds of shit, I listen to all kinds of shit. I got stuff from like all over the place, man. And like different genres too and everything. Like, fucking I mean, like, man, like there's so many I like when I was younger, I like wasn't as open music wise. Like, people would like because like when you're in school and stuff, people like teachers would play like classical music or whatever while you're like studying or doing whatever the fuck, right? And I'd be like, somebody turn this fucking bullshit off, man. Like I want to listen. I want to listen to Pitbull talking about shaking ass or something. You know what I mean? Like what is all this shit? Because that was just like what that's just like back in the day. Like that's what it was, right? Like you got Pitbull talking about culo and like all this other shit, right? And like you know, you got like Chingy talking about like right there and like all this other shit, you know what I mean? So like it was just different. Like I wasn't always as open as I was to, you know, to different types of music. Like now I'll listen to all kinds of shit. But before when I was younger, it was like if it wasn't like yeah, exactly. Throwing ass, dude. That's what it was, bro. Like, you know, you talking about Petey Pablo, talking about, you know, Freaka Leaks and whatnot, you know what I mean?
You guys talk. I'll be right
Uh
back.
I so yeah, like I just wasn't as open. Like if it wasn't like stuff that I grew up with listening to, like from like my dad or whatever, right? Which is like the stuff that I like grew up listening to from my dad was like, you know, like Led Zeppelin, like Metallica, like Queen, like Nirvana, like that kind of shit, right? So I've always liked that. But like for as far as other stuff, like you're funny how you mentioned Alex, how you're in a group of like all these girls that like listen to country only and whatnot. Like I'm not really super into country either, but like I do like some of it here and there. Like I'll listen like primarily like Johnny Cash and that kind of stuff. And then like there's other things here and there that I'll listen to that are a little bit older as well. But like that's one of those genres that I don't really particularly listen to a whole lot, you know? Like jazz, not really either. Like there's some stuff here and there that like obviously like newer music has taken elements from older stuff and used it into nowadays, you know, but like
Yeah.
I don't really like yeah, there's like I listen to all a wide variety of things, but yeah, I mean it's not, you know, it's tough to like certain things just don't, you know, they just don't work as well for us, you know, like individually.
What's so
Um,
funny, like how everyone can be so different, and yeah, like how you and me are very much the same. Like we like this huge variety of stuff, and I definitely will like there are definitely some country songs I like, and when I play Grand Theft Auto, like especially San
oh,
Andreas, I always
all
had it on the
my
country station.
exes live in Texas. Texas. Yeah, that yeah,
Or
I
like
feel you. I'm
the
a hundred
"Mama, don't let
percent with you
your
on that.
babies grow up to be
To be
cowboys."
cowboys, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's
Like I
like
fuck
that's
with
actually
that.
a yeah, it's actually a good point that you bring up because like as I said, when I was younger, I wouldn't like I was very like closed-minded on some music. Like I would always listen to obviously like rap and hip hop and like, like classic rock and shit like that. But like as I've gotten older, I've expanded my musical taste. And I think like a good point that you bring up is like San Andreas, right? Like playing video games and like watching movies and TV shows and stuff kind of like exposes you to new stuff that maybe you wouldn't like really fuck with, but like now that you listen to it, you're like, all right, that sounds pretty good. Like I like that. Like, the San Andreas example, I remember. So I played a lot of San Andreas in my day. So what I would do is I would activate the cheat codes where you can have flying cars. So I'd fly up to the highest building in the game, all while listening to shit like, all my exes live in Texas and like, all that crazy wild shit that's on the radio in those games. And it was, man, I have like such amazing memories and good times of doing that. So yeah, that's actually funny. Like just scrolling through a radio station in a game and you're like, oh, what's this, song? And it's just funny how that works.
Yeah, and then you kind of remember it too. Like if you hear that song, you're like, "Oh, this was in Need for Speed." Like I remember this being in the
Yeah.
menus or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like, oh
even
wait,
like
I
when
remember this from that thing. Yeah.
what was that game Disparity was playing? It was like Def Jam Underground or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
And
like Def Jam something. I forget which one, but yeah, it's like the game. It's a game where you like fight rappers and shit.
yeah, I was like, "Holy shit, like this is I love all of these songs. Like how did I never play this game as a kid?" And when you were talking about like the eras of music, I would say like probably 90% of the music that I do listen to though is like the 90s and early 2000s. And
Mm.
then I have
Yeah.
my random like 60s, 70s music and then my new music and I'm all
Yeah.
over the place.
I got you. I got you. No, I'm kind of like that too for the most part. Like there is a lot of like 60s and 70s stuff that I like too, like The Doors and like I don't know, like Chuck Berry and CCR and
Chubby
just
checker.
stuff like there you go. There's Josh chiming in. Johnny Cash, like I said. You got your Marvin Gaye, you got your Nat King Cole, you got all kinds of good stuff that's older. Roy Orbison, like there's a lot of good stuff from, like you mentioned the Zombies. I like the Zombies too. The Zombies are good. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Well, and did you guys see I know like Ludacris and Usher and stuff were posting this on their page that there's this like music festival happening in May next year in Vegas. And it's
Mm,
like all the original like early 2000s R&B. So you've got like Ludacris and Usher and Ashanti and Ja
Neo and
Rule and
Ja
stuff and like
Rule. I even
oh,
see
it
fucking
just
I even see Baby Bash in there. Look at Yin
yeah.
Yang Twins, Juvenile. Oh shit, we gonna back that ass up. Let's go, dude.
So
Yes, dude.
this
Fucking
this
Sean
is like
Kingston, Cassie, Twista. What? That's
this is my
crazy.
dream concert.
Right?
Going
Like, what the hell? That's amazing.
and they sold out the first day. So
I
they
mean,
opened a second day, same lineup, and it sold out like instantly too.
damn, that's
And like that
fucking
would be
nuts.
unreal.
So I actually did not know about this. So I'm glad you brought it up. That's crazy. Like,
Mhm. All in one place.
all yeah, all these names like 20 years ago were like the shit, you know what I mean? Like 15, 20 years ago. It's like, damn,
Yeah.
that is crazy. That's a heck of a lineup. The Dream, T-Pain, Akon. I was just watching T-Pain stream on Twitch last night, talking about
Okay,
his
I
new album.
I love his streams when he does the like he'll listen to people's songs and he gives
Uh-huh.
everybody a minute. And sometimes the songs are good, but most of the time he's like, "Bro, you sound like Future. We already have Future. Like we need somebody new."
Yeah. He was saying that last night, I think too. He's like, everybody fucking sounds the same nowadays, you know? That's funny.
Yeah.
What a hell of a lineup. Oh, Fats Domino. Yeah, Majin, I mess with Fats Domino, dude. That guy's great.
Me too.
Ain't that a shame? Anyway,
Shame.
you got all kinds of shit, dude. Like, man, there's so much good music out there throughout like all the different eras and like genres of music and stuff. Like, man, I just go from one thing to another. Like, pop the playlist on shuffle and be like, all right, this is gonna go to all kinds of different places, and we're gonna listen to it all because it's all good.
Absolutely. Like I will put my phone on shuffle and that's how I like it cuz I want to go from like those polar opposites like I want to listen to some Miles Davis and then I want to listen to Yin Yang Twins right
Yin Yang
after.
Twins, yeah, yeah, exactly, right? Fucking hell, man.
Cuz yeah, you
Talking
were
about
talking about like music that you grew up with and
yeah.
my dad was all about like blues and jazz and stuff. Like I grew up listening to like
Mm,
Miles Davis and Van Morrison and Stevie Ray Vaughan and my but then my brother would have me listening to Pantera when he was babysitting me and stuff like
yeah.
that. So I was again all over the place. And then
You get all these
somehow
different things from everywhere, and it's like you take
Mhm.
all of it in.
yeah.
My dad was all AC/DC, Queen, Meatloaf.
Yeah, I was
Um,
just saying how
Oh,
like how my dad was like that too. It's like he's like Led Zeppelin, Metallica, Queen, fucking Nirvana, like all that shit, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
My mom loved Meatloaf. Oh my god, Meatloaf and
I
Amy
love Meatloaf.
Winehouse.
Oh man, Amy, yeah.
And then
Man.
somehow I grew up to love rap music. I don't know where that came from.
It's like I don't know where it came from, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it came out of somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's man, so many so many different genres and eras like all coming together and like you take bits and pieces over here from everywhere, like you said, like from your dad,
Scooby
from
Doo.
your
Scooby
brother,
Doo
like all
taught me
kinds of
who
stuff.
Mama Cass was. All right, because they had those
Yeah.
fucking crossover
So
episodes, right?
so while you were gone, we were mentioning that, like how, like like I was saying, like how I was pretty like when I was younger, I was like pretty close minded to a lot of music. I was like, I don't want to listen to this shit. Like, play something I actually want to listen to. And
Hmm.
like like playing games or listening or watching shows or movies like kind of like exposes you to like new different types of things that you probably wouldn't have given a chance before. So it's
Hmm.
pretty cool how that works, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's great. So that kind of leads me to my next thing is like Like, do you guys remember like buying CDs and like or like doing like like actually buying music? Because I have a story of when I was like 10 years ago, right? I was in like high school and shit. So like I remember going after school. I went so my high school has like a Best Buy like right next to it.
Hmm.
So I remember it was the day of J. Cole was about to drop his first album. And I was like, I'm gonna go buy. I was like, should I go before school or after school? I was like, I ended up going after school, but like the day of, I'm like, after school, like a few of us went to go and buy that shit. Like it was amazing. Like it was just different times, man. Cause like nowadays, like who the fuck buys CDs, man? But like
Hmm.
back then, it's like, yo, after school, we're all gonna go buy the new J. Cole album. And like it's oh man, it's
We're gonna put in our
crazy.
Discman and we're gonna walk around with our headphones on.
Yeah, we're just gonna listen to that shit, Like it was fucking nuts, man. Like that I remember, and then like I remember buying like Lupe Fiasco's like Food and Liquor as well.
Oh, so
Like man,
good.
yeah, that's one of my
I
I used to fuck with that album. That was like his Lupe's early stuff, like the like Food and Liquor and like The Cool are two of my favorite albums ever. Like oh man, I used to man like I would like listen to those albums and like wreck motherfuckers on Call of Duty like at the same time, bro. Like those were the days back when I was like good at Call of Duty, like legit. Like I was in like a clan, bro. Like Modern Warfare 2 days, I was in a clan and we would like do a 360 no scope and like fucking, all that dumb shit that we used to do back in the day, right? Like
Hmm.
I would fuck shit up while listening to fucking Lupe Fiasco, bro. Like those were good times, man.
One, like, CD that I had that I loved so much, I listened to it, like, all the time on my Discman, was Sean Paul's The Trinity that had, like, Temperature and We Be
Oh
Burnin' and
yeah.
stuff on it. And it's funny because sometimes those songs will get recommended to me on Spotify now, and I'm like, "Oh,
Uh-huh.
fuck, I remember this song."
Yeah, right? Man, fucking Sean Paul, man.
I
That was
remember
the best.
like the first CD I ever bought, and really probably the only one I ever bought, because when I was younger, I didn't really like. I wasn't like a music person, so I wasn't
Mm.
like waiting for the newest thing to drop to go buy it or anything like that. And you guys are gonna laugh at me when I tell this story. Daniel's probably
Which
heard
one
this
is it?
before because I've told him.
Ah.
I think I've told. It's the first CD I ever bought. I was in Target, and they used to, and they still do sometimes. Used to advertise like, here's the classics, and it's a CD that has all these classic songs from the 80s, the 70s on it. And I fell in love with the uh, American Pie, the song American Pie. Bye
Oh,
bye,
right.
Miss
I
American Pie.
miss American
That song.
Pie. Yeah.
Um, so I was at Target and they had like a CD on clearance, and it had that song in it, along with like a bunch of old classics like "Cats in the Cradle with the Silver Spoon," that song.
Yeah.
And I bought that. I bought that shit, and that was like the only one I ever bought because I was like, the TV got me, the advert got me. I was like, I wanted all these classics. Um, but
Oh, Hannah was a Barbie girl. Look at that.
oh
Listening
my
to Aqua
god,
Aquarium.
my
Hannah's a
sisters.
Yes.
Barbie girl in a Barbie world. And then yeah, Alex was about Shonda Paul. Shonda give it to no 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 no. Hey, yeah, yeah, dude. Sean Paul was the shit. Like fucking yeah, 2005. Man,
So
that was
funny.
yeah.
And
That's
I'm just
yeah.
like this tiny little, like, 2005, you guys, I was 10 years old. And I was listening to
Listen to
Sean
Sean
Paul,
Paul talk
little
about
white
give
girl.
it up to me. No 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 no
Yeah.
no 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 no. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
Uh,
isn't that funny how that we like in general, like when we were kids, like back in the day, like I remember like listening to music and like watching movies that I probably shouldn't have
I
at the
remember when
time.
Picking
I
But
learned
it's like,
what
RoboCop.
skeet skeet meant, and I was like,
oh,
"Excuse me?"
ski ski, motherfucker, ski ski, goddamn, yeah,
You'd be at school dances screaming that, or like
yeah,
playing Pony by Genuine, and you're like, then you grow up and you're
jump
like, "Holy
on
shit,
it.
that was inappropriate."
Yeah, like no, no, that's a good point you bring up because I had forgotten about that. But yeah, like, because I didn't really go to a lot of school dances like when I was in school and whatnot. But I've been, obviously, have been to them. But like, yeah, like the type of music that we're playing, like you got like these fucking like sixth graders and shit listening to stuff that like is so fucking, that shit is foul for sixth graders to be listening to, bro. You're like, what the fuck is going on right now? Good. There were
Oh.
just different times, man. Different times.
Mhm.
We could just do stuff that like nowadays little Timmy couldn't do, because little Timmy's gonna get a nosebleed if he listens to that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just and mother won't let him, so they can't do that,
Well, I mean,
uh
like, I saw
different times.
I saw a TikTok the other day and some little girl was like singing Up by Cardi B and I was like, that was
Oh
me. It wasn't Cardi B. It was Sean Paul or
yeah, it
Lil
was
Jon or
Sean Paul,
something.
or yeah, it was the Yin Yang twins, or fucking Baby Bash or whatever, yeah.
You know, Shake is Shake by Pitbull and the Ying Yang Twins.
Shake is yeah, it's Yin Yang twins, Pitbull, yeah.
I remember one of my friends, we were listening to that in the car, and we were probably in like grade 12. And we were like blasting that in the middle of the night, and we hit a deer and totaled her car and almost died. And now I can't listen to that song anymore.
Whoa.
Of like
That
all
is
the
not
songs.
that is not where I thought that was going, but damn. Holy shit. I mean, you know what?
Yeah,
That's a banger of a song, but I understand that you can't listen to it anymore after that.
right?
Shit.
And
Fuck.
like, and the funny thing is, like, you get in an accident and your car's still playing the song. So it's like,
Yep.
oh, it's awkward.
She was like, no.
Yeah.
No. Look, the car is shaking. Please stop saying shake song.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's actually crazy though. Man, I couldn't imagine. I haven't been in any like crazy super car accident like that. So yeah, it's nuts.
I've been in a lot of
Fuck.
car accidents and I'm always in the passenger seat. Like I'm just determined that people want to kill me. I don't know what it is.
Damn.
I've been in one
That's
car accident. I've witnessed several.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Yeah.
been in car accidents, but nothing like super like dangerous or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Mm. That was the first time I got to ride in the back of a cop car. The only time I've ever ridden in the back of a cop car.
And this is why Alex is like,
Oh,
I'm gonna drive, not you.
yeah, yeah. I am like that. Yes. I don't usually let other people drive.
Yeah.
Well, he was giving us a ride to the hospital. My mom and my sister ended up having to go in an ambulance, and so the car was totaled. So the cop was like, "I'll drive you over there."
Hmm.
Only time I've ever been in the back of a cop car. There is no room in the back of a cop car.
I've never been in the back of a cop car. I think that sounds fun. Just fun to experience.
They got you caged in there in the back, huh?
That was back when I was a kid. Yeah, there's no leg room at all. It is awful. From what I remember, anyway. We were on our way home from vacation, and a dude pulled
Yeah.
out in front of us, and just
Oh, damn.
he had on one of those like big puffy jackets, and he couldn't see all the way. He just pulled out, didn't see us.
Oh
Crunch.
no.
Nobody was like, s- nobody was. I mean, they were injured, but we were like seriously injured.
Yeah.
There was no threat of loss of life or anything like that.
That's
Mm.
good. You made it out okay.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
Yeah. So music, everybody, it's crazy,
Music.
right? Like,
Yeah.
man. It's funny how we just went like, oh, some of the one of the first CDs you remember getting, or did you go buy CDs at a certain time? And it's like, oh, car accidents, man. Here we go.
Tangents. Yeah.
That's how it goes. That's the flow of the conversation. It's all good.
Yeah.
That's how it be sometimes. Love it.
One
Um,
that's like really hard is always when people ask like, "What's your favorite?" If you had to pick a favorite artist, could you
oh, I
pick
mean,
one?
you can't answer that. Like, what the fuck? Like, no.
Right?
But it
It's
changes. It
How
hard.
changes
are you?
with my mood.
How are you?
Like,
Yes.
you know
How
what
are
I
you supposed
mean?
to answer that? That makes no
Mhm.
sense. As if a music lover or somebody asked you that, like, how could they? There's no way.
Mm-mm.
There's too much good stuff out there for you to be like, oh, this one band or this one person or
And
this one type of song or
it's
whatever.
all different and varied too. Like
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
some days I want, you know, metal. Some days I want the house building fucking song. Some days I
Yeah,
want rip and
yeah,
tear.
no,
Okay,
yeah, like seriously, like some days you just want to listen to the Ying Yang Twins talk about fucking, throwing ass and all this other shit. Like that's it. That really is how it be. Sometimes you just want to listen to an instrumental with no
sometimes
lyrics. You know?
sometimes
Totally.
I'm bummed out and I want to hear Pink sing about how I'm not fucking perfect. Like I went through a breakup and listened to that song on repeat for like weeks. Uh, uh,
Like, it's so funny
uh,
because I can't picture you, Josh, listening to Pink.
I
You
love
know?
Pink. Nobody pictures this shit. I love Pink.
It's like you don't know what I like, but I've just told you this is what I like.
No,
Yeah.
Pink is great. But my
Yeah,
thing
because
is like,
that's
I,
funny how that works. Like people are like, oh, I don't, you don't look like you like that, do
I
Hmm.
do
though? Yeah.
do like Pink.
That's like one time I went through the airport security and I was by myself and I was wearing my Wu-Tang hoodie and the
Hey.
guy the guy working the security, he's like this big black guy and he looks at me. He's like, "There's no way you listen to Wu-Tang." And he's like, "First of all, there's no way you're old enough to know who Wu-Tang is."
How long ago was this?
That was like 2018, I think.
Oh, so it was only like a few years ago. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't even that long ago, and, like, don't get me wrong, I look young, but, like yeah, he was, like, quizzing me. He's like, "Okay, so when
Yeah.
did Wu-Tang form? Like, can you name all the members?" And I was like, "I'm just trying to go through the security, bro." Like,
Yeah. Right. Like, come on, dude. Like, this ain't 20 questions, bro. Like, I'm trying to get through here, man. What you mean?
yeah.
I ain't here for an inquisition.
No, but I fuck
Yeah.
with Wu-Tang. I really like Wu-Tang.
Yeah. Wu Tang's
Um,
too good. I really like ODB in particular as well.
oh, yeah, and, like, Method Man is, like, one of my crushes. I love Method Man.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Method Man. Yeah, because I remember I told you about the the 1v1 thing with Method Man. That was happening like a while back. Remember, and you're like, oh, that looks cool. Yeah,
Oh, shit, I watched that whole thing. I watched it on my phone, and I just killed my phone battery because it was, like, 3.5 hours long.
yeah, like that. It was yeah. Katie over here. Yeah, that's so funny to me, Katie. That like you, a English woman from the UK, is like, yo, I fuck with NWA, fuck the police, and all that kind of shit. That's so funny to me. But yeah, NWA, dude, like Ice Cube and
Yep.
Easy E and man,
I just,
fuck,
like
man.
there's so many, like, funny NWA songs too, like, they have that whole spectrum. They've got, like, their serious songs, like, the very political songs, and then they've got, like, Automobile, which is so off the rails.
Yeah, that's another funny thing too. You can have a group or like for I'll give the example here, like Taylor Swift, right? She started off as very like country, but then she kind of shifted over to pop. So it's just funny how like certain artists or like bands or whatever start off doing one thing and then they kind of like over time evolve and or shift into something else. Like I always found that interesting as well.
Mhm. Like, even, like, Machine Gun Kelly, he was hardcore rap for how long, and now he's, like, pop punk.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Like, quite a shift.
it's just funny how that works, you know. But everybody people change over time and then so do their interests and whatnot. So, they develop other styles and other things that they want to do. So
It's
it's
smart
it's all it's all
branding.
it's all interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, my dad loves MGK now, and he would never listen to MGK
Oh,
before, but now that he, like, does the pop punk thing, my dad's, like, wearing MGK T-shirts, like, he's
man,
all into
really?
that, and my dad's the type of person who, like, won't listen to electronic music, like, there has to be real instruments, and
Oh,
he likes blues, jazz, Van Morrison, like, that's his jam.
oh yeah, Van Morrison, Brown Eyed Girl.
Yeah.
Yep, that's cool. Yeah, that's really interesting actually. Because I wouldn't have. That's not where I thought you were going to go with that. So, my dad listens to MGK. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something. Um, so with all talking about all these songs that like we listened to and used to listen to and stuff takes me back to back in the olden days of the Twitcheroos, back before the DMCAs and before the no longer being able to play song request dealio. We used to fucking jam the fuck out on Twitch with the song requests. So unfortunately, Alex, they kind of the song request stuff kind of stopped. Kind of like when you were new to streaming, right? Like if I remember,
Mhm.
it was like really early on in your streaming days, and like we used to, oh man, we used to jam out so hard to shit. And like I just started streaming, and I remember you like, yeah, I remember helping you out with some stuff, and then like,
Mhm.
song requests was the thing that oh, you could do this, like that kind of shit. And it's like, yeah, and then like, DMCA and all that shit happened. It's like, oh well, that was, it lasted while it could, right? Like that's pretty much we did what we could, but
Oh. Oh no, we lost Daniel.
We lost
Mm.
Daniel.
No, that's not cool. He was talking and I was eating. Now I'm caught red-handed.
The timing too. Poor Daniel.
What really sucks is like he knows all the shit about song requests. I almost never did it on my streams.
Really?
um,
I remember Daniel helped me set up everything so that I would have song requests and like make it work and stuff. And then I think I streamed like maybe 5 times with song requests and then it was gone.
that sucks. Shit. What happened? Katie says song request. That's how I got introduced to the best song ever, My Big Green Tractor. We talked about that.
Can't believe that, Katie, you heard that first on song requests.
I miss song requests. I would have them on, but when I was doing them, there was never a lot of people in the chat. It was always Derper. Because I don't know how many of you know this. Like Derper came from my stream first before everybody else. So you have me to blame
Wow.
for Derper spreading around everywhere. But no, the Derper would be like the guy that was always there in my chat and would put music on for me to listen to. And I'm like, all right, well, because listen, I've never been big on never been big in like actual music. Like I liked like AC/DC and all that stuff. But when it came to song requests, I didn't know what to play. So Derper would be in there and would be putting music on. Hey, he's back. And
I'm back. So I apologize. Just really quickly to interrupt Josh real quick.
No, you're
So
good.
my computer randomly well, not randomly. It was accidentally shut off. So that's what happened. So I'm back. Hello. I apologize.
Back.
Continue with your conversation.
We were just talking about song requests and like how Derper was like was the only person in my chat when it was going on.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like unfortunately for Alex, like she joined Twitch at a time like when that stuff was like about to like be non-existent, you know. So it's it's unfortunate because we used to do crazy shit all the time. Like we used to do like there would be like like Majin is like a fan of like the mashups and stuff, so there'd be like Bustin' and like Crocodile Chop and like the last big hit that we used to do was Dragon Ball Durag. If you guys have not listened to Dragon Ball Durag by Thundercat, please listen to that song. It is hilarious.
I accidentally played it on my stream once.
Homie says, I may be covered in cat hairs, but I still smell good. Let me smash in my durag. Okay? That is a banger of a song. But anyway, yeah, like I just
well,
I just go ahead, Alex.
You guys like and cooking by the book. Like
Yeah,
fuck me up with some cooking by the book.
Yeah.
Cause that was the best. Oh my god, Booty Man. Booty Man is a jam.
Booty Man
also.
was a banger as well that we used to play a lot back in the day. Booty Man, Bustin', Dragon Ball Durag, like oh my god, there was so many like And then just like being able to play whatever the fuck you want, you know? Like I remember back in the day I'd play Overwatch and I'd be like, all right, Overwatch is one of those games where I don't really have to like pay too much attention to dialogue or anything like that. So song request time it is, and we just throw up the list and people can request whatever the hell they want as long as it wasn't a troll song, because I'd be like, get that shit out of here,
No,
and
Yes.
there's some fucking trolls out there that would come in and put
there
in
would be
like,
people that would join your stream just because you have song requests in your title or
yep,
whatever, and they'd be like, let me be a fucking troll, let me let me request this this those like ear like they bust your ear type things videos that they
Oh,
play. They would do that dumbass shit.
did anyone
So
ever
that
do like those sometimes when you click on things and it's just like moaning? Did anyone
yep.
ever do that?
oh
There's like a whole genre of people take sounds from pornography, and make songs out of it, put music over them, and would go into people's streams and play that shit. Like, I
Oh my
remember that.
God. I remember Hannah always requested Senorita. If she requested
Senorita, yeah,
something
she
else,
did.
I was like, "What? Who is this?"
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, yeah. Also, Katie, I listened to the sound of the Mass Effect soundtracks, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. I see you tagged me on Discord. I will have to check that out. It's called Commander Shepard, the song by Miracle of Sound. I'll have to check that out.
Ooh,
I've heard it.
But
since
yeah,
we were talking about scores.
yeah. But yeah, it's just like, man, I miss the days where we can just like play a game and have whatever music you wanted to in the background, man. Like it was fun. Like I haven't really done any uh much of that, you know, like since the DMCA, all the Twitch stuff happened. Like I don't really play like if anything, I'll play music like in my intro screen before I'm like starting to, before I start the stream. That's when I'll play music. But other than that, I don't really like I want to do lo-fi and shit sometimes, but I'm just like, man, I just wish I was listening to something else other than lo-fi. Like, don't get me wrong, I like lo-fi. I think it's great. Like, it's fun, it's cool, whatever. But man, like, it would be nice to listen to something else right now, you know?
It's not the same. Like it doesn't get you hyped up like like Yang Yang Twins
No.
would or
Yeah,
something if you're like
yeah,
playing Overwatch.
exactly. It's just not the same, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah.
Um, you just gotta you just gotta deal with it. But I just wanted to bring it up because I know that like a lot of us used to do that. I know Alex, you like got to experience some of that, and it was fun while it lasted. I had fun with it, with the
Yeah.
song requests and all that.
Oh, that was a blast.
Yeah, and then even like just doing like Twitch sings, like I didn't do it a whole lot, but like I did it occasionally from time to time, and even that was fun. I'm a terrible singer or whatever, but to me it was just a fun thing to do. Like fuck it, like we're gonna listen to this song and we're gonna do some Twitch sings, and it was just a fun time. So
I
yeah,
think
same
really
Katie.
the
It was
only
just
people
great.
I ever saw was you and Katie doing them. I don't think I
Mm.
ever saw anyone else do Twitch sings.
There was Derper would do it occasionally as well,
Oh,
but
and I
like
know
when Derp
Derper, wouldn't he record them too so that you could duet his
duet, yeah, you
later?
could do duets with his, yeah, exactly, yeah, because that was the thing you could do. You could record yours, and then like if it was a duet, you could upload it onto the Twitch Sings thing, and then you could have like anyone could come in and like do the second part or whatever.
Mhm.
Like there was some good stuff with that. It's kind of a shame that they got rid of that, but I mean, in the midst of all the DMCA stuff and all that, like yeah, it's a shame. I kind of wish they would bring it back just because it's a fun thing. But I mean, they gotta fix all the DMCA stuff. I wish they would, because I just again, I just miss listening to music on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well,
I didn't do it a lot, but I would do it on occasion, and it was a good time when I did song requests.
yeah, I mainly did it for like multiplayer stuff,
Yeah.
back then. But yeah, it was,
Twitch sings I never did. I never do. I ain't putting myself out there like that.
Honestly, I mean, I know we talked about this the other day, but like I think it's ballsy to do Twitch things, especially if you're like, "Oh, I'm not like the best singer or whatever." Like just to do it is
yeah.
ballsy.
I had fun with it. It was just a fun, silly time, like listening to and trying to like keep up with songs that you like. It's fun. And then like I would just have people come in and be like, "Yo, do this song," and I'd be like, "All right, fuck it." Even if I don't know it that well, I'll try it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be it might be terrible, but you asked for this, so let's you're gonna listen to it now.
Look, man, I'd be like
Uh,
Ace. I'd have to be like Ace on episode 2 of Heels when he's doing karaoke in the
oh,
bar.
the karaoke, you just drink, gotta be drinking.
Have you guys done karaoke in a bar?
Oh hell no, not me.
Um, it's one of those things that like it depends on who I'm with, and I'll do it. But I mean, I
Okay.
wouldn't mind doing it.
I've only done
If
it
if it
once, and it
was like
was
us, it'd
super
be one.
bait. That's the only one.
Especially if you're in like one of those like rooms, whatever. Like it's just like you and your homies, whatever. Like I'll go all out. I don't give a shit. But it's more of like a deal when you're like in front of like everybody. That's like, oh, okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens with this one. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you're just like with your friends, like in like a little private room or whatever, fuck it, I'll do it. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But yeah, that was that was fun stuff, fun times.
I would do
Ah,
karaoke if we were like when we were on the boat at WaveCon, right? And like
like
with
Bohemian
dancing and
Rhapsody,
stuff,
yeah.
and everybody was
Oh,
there and doing that stuff.
mamma mia, let me
That
go.
shit was fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that actually was pretty fun. Good times, man. Good times.
Mhm.
all right.
Yeah, but I think we've had a pretty good podcast for today. I think that's
Oh
probably
yeah,
it's a
we
good
can
way
wrap
to
it up.
wrap it up, right? Unless we have nothing else to add in here. Alex, you got anything else
Hey,
or
Alex,
Josh,
anything you
anything?
want to talk about?
Yeah,
Nah.
because then we've
Uh,
been going on for quite some time now,
I
So
mean,
yeah, and
we
I
could
know y'all are
probably
probably hungry.
we could probably talk all day, really.
oh, I mean, of course, which is
Mhm.
why though, whenever you want to come back, Alex, you're more than welcome to.
Absolutely.
Of
Like it's
course.
all good. But yeah, we should probably wrap it up for today.
All right.
Thank you everybody for joining us. We appreciate it as always. It was a
Thanks for
fun one.
having me. I
Of
appreciate
course,
it.
absolutely. It was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun talking to you, and it's good having another guest. For the first time in a long time. Katie, we were just mentioning how you were literally our last guest. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's been a long time coming, but here we are, and I'm glad that it was Alex. It's really great. A lot of fun. Hope you had fun, Alex.
Yeah.
I know we went on for a while. They usually don't go on for this long, but when we got you here, we gotta go on for a little bit longer, right? Like it just makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. But
Yeah, we got lots to talk about.
yeah, exactly, for sure.
All right.
But yeah,
We're
that'll
gonna
that'll
I'm gonna
do it.
throw up Daniel's goodbye screen. That way he can show you how you do your shout outs and stuff, and then we'll do you, Alex, and then
All
I'll
right,
close out the show. Daniel,
Fabulous.
you're up.
let's do it. Hello. Thank you for watching or listening to this podcast. I appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out, and all that good stuff. We will be back next week. We are going to be talking about Gamescom because that's going to be happening here in a few days. Going to be a lot of gaming stuff happening. Also, not only that, I forgot to mention during the movie news portion is that the Spider-Man No Way From Home trailer leaked apparently, so we might be getting that pretty soon. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for hopefully some Lego Star Wars news and whatever else we get, Saints Row reboot, all that shit. So that'll be hype. Coming up for stream, I may be doing a co-op stream with a certain Miss Pants tomorrow. And we may or may not be playing a certain game where you fall. Um, so we'll see about that. Stay tuned for that tomorrow. That'll be a whole lot of fun. Other than that, I plan on playing some Final Fantasy on stream and some maybe some Battlefront 2. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just come hang out. It'll be cool. Peace out, guys. See you later. Bye bye.
All right, Alex, you're gonna be up. I'm throwing to you. You saw how it's done. It's your turn.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. This was like my first time ever doing something
Yeah.
like this. I was saying yesterday, like I was like a little nervous because I'm like, this is not totally my element, right? But I had a
Mhm.
lot of fun. So anytime you want to
Awesome.
have me back, I will be back.
Excellent. Excellent.
As far as things that I'm up to, yes, tomorrow we're gonna be playing some Fall Guys with Daniel, and I think Sir Lamont might be joining us as
Oh,
well.
Monsieur Lemon. Oh,
So we're gonna do that, and then the next story game that I'm gonna play, probably starting next week, is going to be The Wolf Among Us, which Daniel actually gifted to me.
yes. I'm so excited for that. I can't wait to see you play that game.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'm super hyped for that.
Yes.
Other than that, though, like that's pretty much what's happening. I'm gonna be basically keeping to my normal stream schedule of around like once or twice a week until Christmas, and then I will be done my science degree and I will have more
Hell
free
yeah.
time. So
Woo
you'll
Let's
see
woo.
me
go. Hell
streaming a
yeah.
little bit more often, hopefully after
Sweet,
that.
sweet, sweet. Yeah.
I don't really use like a ton of social medias. Like I don't use Twitter and stuffs, but Instagram and Twitch, those are my jams, and you can usually find me lurking in somebody's stream.
Awesome.
All right.
So yeah.
We're swapping over to me now. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by the show. We appreciate you. If you like what you've seen here, make sure to follow my lovely co-hosts today, DT3, Alex Pants, on their streams, respectively. Their info is in the previous cards. Alex, thank you for joining us. You are welcome back anytime. You are an awesome guest. I already have the overlays made up, so it'll be easy for you to come back.
Hell yeah.
Um, as for me, I don't really have anything coming up. I've I've got something nibbling in the back of my mind, and I'm not sure what I'm
Oh
going to do
man.
with it quite yet. Um,
Something
I'm
in the
gonna.
work.
There's something back there. I don't know. I don't know. It's an experiment, maybe. Um, I'll let you know whatever that is. Um,
Hell yeah.
if you like what you've seen today, hit that follow button on the Twitch. We appreciate that. Go join all the Discords. Go join, follow us on Twitter. The podcast is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, the RSS feed, our link tree, all that stuff. You can find it all. It's very easy to find. We're very out there. Um, I'm also going to put out, if you are a streamer and one of our friends and would like to come onto the show at some point, reach out to us and let us know, because we need to know in
Absolutely.
advance so I can get your overlays fixed and up to snuff. Alex's overlays took like I did an overlay a day. It was really easy, so it took 3 days in total to get the overlays done, and it would be even quicker now because I saved those
You got the
files.
you got the template. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I could
Hell
very
yeah.
easily swap them out. Super easy. Um, that's gonna do it all for us here. I'm gonna let these guys go so they can go get some food. I'm sure they're hungry. They have to be. I ate during the stream. um, until next time, take it easy, guys. Get vaccinated.
Bye bye. Peace out. Definitely give. Bye bye.
Bye.